Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Brothers Chatter, where Danny and McDermott reenact a scene from The Lady and the Tramp. You know which one I'm talking about. Craig tells you why when he hears the term wide right, it triggers him. And I tell you about the time that I had Scarlett Johansson come on to me. She tried to turn me on, and I had to turn her down.
Yay.
Welcome, everybody.
McDermott, just by that face, I can tell you've never watched Lady and the Tramp.
I did. They ate the spaghetti together.
There you go. Good job.
See, he watches movies. He watches them.
All right, welcome, everyone. We have our regular cast with us. Our resident Twitch streamer, Bearded Beefy. Say hi to your fans, McDermott. Give it to him. I guess the half hand is better than nothing, right?
I mean, he's probably beating his dick with the other one. So.
He probably is. My brother from the same mother, Danny G. The one, the only, Craig.
You like how we just have a Craig?
Put your fucking black ass fist down. What the fuck was that?
Oh my god. And then Tim puts his white fist up like, no, white power.
I knew that pissed you off. That's why I decided to do it.
And Tim, what are you doing? We don't do Tim. Where's not this? It's this. White people are this.
Black people are this.
White people do this, Tim.
Black people do this.
We have Black
right,
Lives Matter.
Oh Lord,
we have Black Lives Matter and Hitler up in here. Like what?
We forgot how you.
Oh, you know how he feels about Jewish people after the last episode.
I have Irish in my blood, bro. We were slaves too.
You should have been here for the Catholic talk.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And the priest.
And then,
Sheesh.
last but not least,
Here we go.
we got to clean up. So bring your mop. When I take a dookie, it makes a plop. I hear your favorite song is WAP. Hey, what's up? It's Pops.
That was your worst one yet.
When I take a dookie, it goes plop.
Jamie
Now
Kennedy.
you're reaching.
Jamie,
You're
You are reaching. McDermott's gonna win this bet.
Jamie Kennedy giving you your lyrics there.
That was pretty good. All right, so welcome everyone. We got some fun topics for you guys today. We're going to get into a lot, but before we do, I have a little announcement to make. So something very near and dear to my heart, and I needed to share this with someone special who's on here with us today. So some of our viewers may know of a situation from a couple years ago where we were all having a conversation. It was me, my brother, McDermott here, and maybe a couple other people, in which I referred to McDermott as my brother's friend. And he was quite offended when he heard this. And through time,
So don't feel bad.
I've had to live... Through time, I've had to live with the guilt of how I made him feel on that day. But now that we've been doing this podcast, the Brothers Chatter, there's part of me that feels that McDermott is like another brother to me. And so I can gladly say that this man right here is my friend.
God.
In fact, it doesn't make me feel bad. It just makes me want to fuck with you more now.
All right, so
I did that.
And you shouldn't have done that because thank you. I can now clip that. That shit is going on a fucking t-shirt. I'm just letting you know. It's going on a t-shirt and a 4X and whatever size dad bod you have, Tim.
That's definitely $1 million shirt. You'll definitely make some money off that son bitch.
Oh my god.
That should be our first Brother Chatter's apparel shirt.
I'm out. Is that why you wanted that picture?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, McDermott. I sent him that.
I can imagine that logo like on this bright pink hat. It would just be so great. Wouldn't you think?
It's gonna be a pink shirt and pink hat.
Listen.
That's our
Or
first
a rainbow
merch.
hat. How about that?
That's our first merch.
Hold on. He's about ready to cry.
No, so no, I mean, oh, thanks, Tim. 4 years too late. Anyway, this could be our Brothers Chatter time, guys. Look, me and Tim have a Brothers Chatter shirt. People can get us, and then Marine, you and Craig's shirt can be a black T-shirt with your picture, and your arm could be out like this, and then we're just gonna be like, we're gonna Manti Te'o that and be like, yo, where's Craig? Like, you're gonna be like, my best friend Craig. You can't see Craig because it's a black T-shirt.
Fuck you very much. Fuck you
That's
very
selling.
much.
That's selling.
Right.
They have to see my face. Trust
That
me.
one's getting made first, though.
Absolutely.
Hats, shirts, pink, all pink.
And the alternate rainbow.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
True. So, with that being said, it's now time to get into our first topic. One of the something else kind of came on the news again. I guess it's that time again, coming back around. On Monday, August 22nd, there was another incident involving police in the beating of a male in Arkansas. I can't remember what county it was.
I like how you just said it's that time, like it's like a fucking it's
It's
October, Halloween's coming. It's like
No.
oh shit, it's about to be September. Cop beating fucking month.
And this shit
Everybody
always
has to have
pops.
one.
This shit always pops up right before an election. Though.
It's the most wonderful time.
Like you haven't heard anything about any cop beatings really in the past 2 years?
No,
Like,
nothing
maybe,
major
like,
since Floyd.
Yeah, like
So-
here and there, but like small stuff. But like nothing that's blown up by the media. It gets
Well, the Uvalde guys kind of dropped the ball and letting like all the kids get mowed down,
Yeah,
on a
man.
kill streak.
They
Yeah.
finally-
Other than that,
They finally fired that captain out of Uvalde too.
the one over out in.
Uvalde,
Or-
they finally fired his ass.
Oh, okay.
yeah, his KD was 1-17. Like the chief really dropped the ball over there.
Yeah, big time. Dropped the ball.
Yeah. No,
You let
God,
kill streak.
you let 20
Keep
kids
bringing
get
that
killed.
up.
Yeah, you don't deserve to be in law enforcement. Honestly, everybody's gonna look at you and call you a fucking coward.
Oh.
Well, this situation itself was pretty bad. From what I could see on the video, it was about 30 seconds by just some, just random citizen, and you can see three cops. You can see the one there that's pointing currently at the camera is the one that was making the repeated strikes at the head. I mean,
And
He
the
was
hand
throwing-
off the
And
concrete.
yeah, and
This
the
son of a
hell
bitch was
concrete.
throwing fists.
boom. And then you had the one there that's kind of in the middle, in blue, kind of just looked like that individual was restraining. But in the one in the back at the beginning of the video, I mean, was
Man,
in
had
there
them
just
knees.
kneeing the bang,
Bro, these
just kneeing
guys-
crap.
These guys watch
Like
UFC.
UFC, like UFC knees.
Yeah,
It was
these guys
bad.
watch UFC for sure.
It was.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Apparently, he was being arrested. His name, what was it? Randall Worcester. Was that his name?
I guess.
Something
No.
like that.
Yeah.
I was
He
just
was-
watching him get the shit stomped out of him.
Yeah, basically, he allegedly threatened a gas station clerk in a neighboring town. And so I guess the police saw him, right, and identified him. And initially, he was cooperative. At least that's the story so far.
That's not-
But then,
That changed.
but then
That's-
he attempted, he
No,
attacked the officer.
Yeah, I was gonna say initially he was when they first got there,
Mhm.
and then it went south real quick. But
Yeah, supposedly he had a weapon at one time, but they're thinking
Well,
he handled that over.
the conflicting reports have been the police still thought he had a weapon, and then I'm pretty sure the police chief of the guy in the blue is from another town. Like he's not.
Could have been a sheriff or.
Two,
No, the
two
guy in the
of
blue is
them.
a city.
Yeah, he's city. The other two are deputies.
Like
They were sheriffs. They were sheriffs.
So apparently, some say that he handed it was like a knife or something. Like they got the weapon from him, and some say they thought he still had one. I mean, wear a body camera, you probably would have saw that.
Yeah, I mean, like the city and the two deputies, both of their commanding officers or whatever, need to be questioned about why they're not made to wear body cams. That's the whole point of covering your ass. Obviously, you're not wearing them for a reason. So,
In today's day and age, I would want, if it was me, I'm
Absolutely.
wearing a body cam at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
want to go to the bathroom.
Regardless.
I mean, apparently there is a video of the whole entire thing from a dash cam of the car, but it's not released. But like they turned
It'll
that
take
over.
a while.
That's going to take several weeks before they get off, or whatever
Yeah.
lame excuse they got
Yeah.
to say we have to look at all this. Our attorney's got to look at it. It's all
Yeah.
bullshit, but
Yep.
it is.
it doesn't matter. Like even if the dash cam shows the man have a weapon and he swung at the cops, and the cops had him to this point, you're three fucking grown men on top of a man. Even if I know they got to throw a strike here and there if he's not, but you motherfuckers, you got tasers and mace. You tased that guy one time. His arm, he wasn't. They said he wasn't high or anything. Like,
not
I know. Initial report said that they thought he was on cocaine, but then it came out he wasn't high. Nothing. He just an angry man, and you tase this motherfucker one time, he's done. Like you.
Exactly.
It's the fact that It's the fact that he probably tried to attack one of their own, and these motherfuckers that got the badge think they're fucking high and fucking mighty and can do whatever the fuck they want. I hope all three of these motherfuckers get fucking fired.
Honestly, they're all suspended from what I found out. But honestly, that should be a
with
stricter.
Pay.
That's bullshit. You're paying these guys because honestly, this guy, the guy pointing right there, this son of a bitch was just throwing hands at this guy, and like you said, the other guy just UFC kneeing him. You're telling me that's police procedure? That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, man.
The only one that may like not get fired is maybe the city cop, because like what is he gonna do to stop the other two?
Mm-hmm. And like
he could at least put his arm out to one of the other. Was like, yo, chill. No attempt whatsoever to that. They all were.
I mean, like you said, one tase and it's done. I
don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
No, you say with the taser thing, honestly, because if you're pissed off and fired up, maybe a tase might not just do it. I've seen people get tased and they still come charging like a son of a bitch. But the fact that
that's usually on drugs.
Yeah,
but like adrenaline.
I'm just simply saying what I've seen, that they may or may have not been on drugs, but
a taser. I mean, if it's just an adrenaline rush, a taser's gonna knock that shit right out of you.
Like, and not a nightstick, but they got that little thing that's like probably about yay tall, and they just.
They could, but like if you do a I mean that's the same thing as beating them. Like if you're beating them with that stick.
I think the nightstick's more like to take them down. Like you're supposed to hit them to like drop them for you.
They usually go for the back. They usually go for the back of a knee, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you don't like after the whole like Rodney King. They don't want to Rodney King someone again with a nightstick on the ground.
No.
So, I mean, they kind of took that away. But
now
you got rubber bullets, you got mace, you got fucking. And I'm sorry, you're three fucking men, and none of these guys were fucking rookies. But like they all had years on a police force. So at this point in time, you know how to de-escalate it. You know all this. You chose not to. I hope you go to jail and fucking get raped.
They do. Well, there needs to be repercussions here because honestly, these guys royally deserve more than just a suspension and with pay, which is ridiculous. I agree. And now, when it comes to police, we live in a society now. Honestly, if you're a police officer right now, if you really like a situation like this. It just puts a black eye on law enforcement in this country. It really does. And it really questions every time I see a police officer walking by me or driving past me, I'm looking at them going, this guy going to beat my ass just because of the color of my skin or anything else like that? I mean, the George Floyd shit, honestly, that was unfortunate. And I'm not trying to split. I'm not trying to go from a topic from that to that, but that was unfortunate in its own right. Those guys deserved everything. Those cops deserved everything they did. Yeah. Was George Floyd a saint? Hell fucking no. But he didn't deserve what he had coming to this.
Unarmed.
This is outrageous. McDermott, I'm with you this whole way when it comes to it. These guys, honestly, fuck a suspension. These guys need to be fired and they need to be put in front of a judge and explain their actions because there is no way in hell that Arkansas, I don't care what county or I know it was in Arkansas, you're telling me this is what they trained you for in the police force? You got one guy, 3 guys around them. You're telling me you couldn't get them to cooperate without you throwing a fist at them? What the fuck is that shit?
And it also paints a picture of these cops all over the place. Like, you don't know what they're going to do. Like, say you don't do exactly what they want you to do whenever they give you an order or something like that. Like, all of us, like, automatically they're gonna like pull out a gun or like. All right, so I was also reading about this. I think it was like last month or maybe a couple months ago. There was a pregnant woman with her child or baby in the car, and she was out and like it was nighttime, like middle of the night, out on a road that was dark. There's no street lights in the middle of nowhere, and a car comes up behind her and puts their lights on. Well, she didn't pull over right away because, like, sit there and think about it. Like, you're out in the middle of nowhere and somewhere you're not familiar and it's on a dark road and there's no one around. How can you be 100% sure that's a cop? So, like, we've always been told, like, if you don't pull over, like, drive to the nearest police station. So
I know which one you're talking about.
She finally pulled over. I think it was, like, where there was, like, streetlights or something like that. But she finally pulled over. And, like, she got out of her car to say, like, I'm sorry that I didn't, and try to explain herself of why she didn't pull over. And
You could just she could have said I'm legitimately scared.
Right, like she was trying to say that she was scared, but the first thing the cop did as soon as she got out of the car was fucking pull a gun on her. Like,
yeah. And when she tried to explain
to be fair on that end though, like at the time the cop can't tell she's a pregnant female, and like I said, I hate cops. Not all cops are bad, but like I don't trust the motherfuckers.
There's good cops, there's bad cops. It just kind of meets in the middle.
But on that situation, like I can emphasize.
There you go.
On if she's not pulling over. I mean, I don't know the story, but like if she drove for a little bit, not pulling over, and like the first thing she does is get out of the car. I mean, like obviously in this day and age, the cops are also going to be on edge because how many times have they got blasted in the past few years?
And there's nothing wrong with that, but like you don't have to fucking pull out your gun. And he started like fucking cussing at her, and like he was being
she
very
was trying to explain, and she's like trying to explain, like, sir, like she was being as polite as possible. I saw it too.
I get that, but his adrenaline.
She's trying to explain. True, but even then, he's like, I didn't ask you, shut the fuck up. Like, and her kids are crying in the background. It did seem like a little much.
It's an go ahead. It's an intimidation factor, which is fucked up that some police officers do that, even if it's a serious situation or if it's just a minor traffic stop. You got people who like McDermott, like you said, they get that badge on, they get that gun with them. And next thing you know, they get that little power hungry kind of thing, like, oh, I'm a cop.
You know where
need
they
to
came
do whatever
from.
the hell I say. Yeah. Bullshit.
They're power hungry because they got bullied when they were young.
Yeah,
but
or you're ex-military or some shit. And that's the only thing you can do.
That situation can be argued though, because like, think about it. Like, I mean, however long she drove, if it was only like another like 10 seconds or something, all right, bro. Like now, like yeah, you're just being a dick. But if she drove for like a little bit longer down that road or on a couple. He's probably thinking in his head, well, shit, how many cops have just got blasted on traffic stops recently? Or the Baltimore cops who were sitting in their car and somebody just walked up and shot them inside with a fucking gun. I mean, to be fair, like, my adrenaline would be fucking up if the first thing she did was get out of the car. Because pregnant or not, like, you don't know who the fuck's on the
right, okay, but then, all right, so say you pull out your gun.
But your adrenaline just doesn't come down either. So while he's cussing at her, he's probably like, what the fuck? Like,
no, he's got a gun. Like, shut the fuck up. I didn't ask you. Shut the fuck up. By that point, though, you can see it's a pregnant female. Drop your fucking gun.
Women in Iraq strap bombs to fucking their 3-year-old kid and send them out to blow up the troops. So I mean, at that point in time, but it doesn't get the fuck. It isn't. America does shit just as bad over here.
I'm just saying, like in that situation, like by that time that he's cussing her the fuck out with the gun pointed at her, like he already seen.
Maybe the cussing.
A pregnant female,
a
pregnant female trying to explain herself how scared she is. Bro, calm your little fucking ass down.
Well, listen,
I'm sorry you got bullied in high school, but calm your ass down.
Bro, now you're going too far because if you put yourself in that situation, you'd be a dead cop.
I'm gonna be on edge. I will be. Exactly. Oh yeah, I never said I wanted to be a cop.
I'm agreeing that him still cussing at her like that, like that's too much. Like you don't gotta be a dick. But like, I would still have the gun on her. Like, if she wants to explain, but you're keeping your fucking hands in the air until I get somebody.
I disagree. There was no. I wouldn't consider that. If that would have been me, I wouldn't. I'd be like this with my hand to the side. But I'm like, I'm not gonna pull my gun, especially if it's one woman with kids in the car. Yeah. Regardless if it could be. That to me, the whole cussing, it's over. That's just overkill. Basically, it's an intimidation factor. Trying to scare you into doing something that gives a cop an excuse to want to do something. I mean, I disagree with what you said about still having the gun on her because I can remember. I can remember whenever my dad had picked me up from work one night. It was late at night. He had picked me up from work, and a cop pulled him over. He'd been drinking a little bit at the time, but nothing like major. Like it's nothing that he would have like gotten a DUI over. But he got out of the van, trying to figure out what the cop stopped him for because like the cop wasn't getting out right away, and he was just like, I'm just trying to get home. Like, here's my license, this and that. And the cop like yelled at him like, hey, just get back in your vehicle. Never pulled a fucking gun on him. There's no reason.
But guess what? Look at our area. Yeah, our area just now started getting shootings in the past 2 years. Like, our area is lax. And nothing against them, they just don't deal with that. But look how many times the traffic stops happen in the past 10 years, up until the last 2, that weapons were found or we're having shooting. Not often. So our cops are actually I mean, we have dickheads, don't get me wrong, but like our cops are more on that lax edge of like they're not getting out of the car as much fearful they're going to get shot in this area until recently.
And I get what you're
But,
saying, but it also paints them in a picture of like what we're seeing, you know, what Tim just pulled up there. You know, like that's the picture that it's painting is like the one that still has his gun pulled on a pregnant woman, even though he can see she's a pregnant woman just trying to explain herself. So it paints the picture of like, yeah, these guys are just power hungry.
Not for cops. I'm saying like I agree that him yelling and cussing doesn't help the situation. In fact, you're just gonna rouse somebody up. Like, if that was me while he's screaming and cussing at me,
you're gonna scream back.
My temper's gonna go 0 to 100 real quick, whether you got a gun on me or not. I'm gonna flip the fuck out.
Yeah,
I agree with you, but I also understand the sense that in this day and age, you fucking don't know anymore, especially for them, because of all the bad cops who have painted that picture on them. Now it's like the good ones are like, we're still going to get shot because we're a cop. So like, I understand keeping a gun out, but you could at least talk respectful. And then once she explains her situation, then you can take, okay. But like, I mean, be on that. That doesn't bother me. It's the screaming, the guys who think they can say what they want, and then the first time you cuss back to them, you're on the ground because now you're being fucking.
As soon as you tell a cop shut the fuck up, they're gonna put you on the ground and give you get your ass out the car. Like no, like what? You were cussing at me, asshole.
Right, you cussing me like just because I told
what gives you the right to come at me cussing at me? I don't care if you're wearing a badge or not. That's bullshit on you.
It's not against the law.
Well,
it's not against not against the law to say a cop fuck you.
True. And what it really comes down to is, and that's what makes it difficult, is the fact that police have the right to use deadly force when they need to, right? And do all officers know when to use that, right? Because ideally, you're supposed to use reasonable force or the least restrictive measures.
Deadly force is a last resort.
Exactly. Deadly force is a last resort. And so I was Googling it, and I really couldn't find anything. If I searched a little bit more, I probably could find it, is when is law enforcement allowed to use strikes? The only thing I could really find is strikes are meant for disarming or subduing someone, which looks to me like he's disarmed, if he had anything, and subdued. And so that then comes into question with the severity and number of repeated blows. What was the purpose? What was the purpose of force in that situation? The apparent force was not to gain control of the situation. It was to punish, to harm. That is not what police are out there to do. When you're dealing with these escalated situations, and we see good cops do it all the time, your job is to stay calm, to regulate yourself, bring it back in. How am I going to respond to the situation based off of whatever happened? And what it then comes down to is, with all of this stuff over the last few years, some were serious situations when it comes to police brutality, and then there's some that are in question. You know, was it actually police brutality? Was it not? Was it kind of somewhere in the middle? We've had so many good cops quit or maybe even get fired, that how many good cops are still out there, right? Not that this excuses any of that, but this is what we have now.
Law enforcement?
The past 3 years, 3 to 5 years, you lost a lot of the good ones. At this point in time, it's some of the good ones who stuck around because they're too far in now to leave, and now you're getting a lot of these fucking idiots. And I might rub the nail the wrong way, but from some of those fucking past videos in the past few years of these military guys becoming cops, I'm for a military, but do you when deadly force is the last thing you should use as a cop? Do you want to hire
absolute last thing
that's trained to deadly forces first?
Yeah.
So now you're taking somebody in the military for years, especially if they did a fucking tour.
Mm-hmm.
You're killing people overseas, and now you're going to come over and be a cop. That's two different things. And that's why you're seeing, like, a couple years ago, a black guy, I forget what they were, him and his fiance were in the car. He had a fucking permit to carry a gun. Legal guy, not a criminal record on him. And he said, he told the guy, hey, I have a permit to carry. I have a gun on my hip right now. And as he was going to get the permit for them, they freaked the fuck out and shot him in the fucking car.
Yeah.
Because and they were using ex-military. Why? So why are you going to hire somebody when deadly force is the last thing you need to use? You're going to hire somebody who's just been drilling their head for plus years that it's the first thing you use.
Especially,
you shoot ask questions later.
Especially with the military guys, especially like you said, if they've been on tour, you also have to think if they've been on tour for a while and then they're coming back home adjusting to life and being in law and order and police force. Your military background, I want to know how you are up here. Do you have anything? Do you have anything?
Exactly.
Do you have anything going on up here since you've been over there? Because war fucks people up,
right?
And the fact that they're coming home and they're giving you a badge and a gun, that makes me question the whole military concept when it comes to law enforcement. I know they're very similar with training with law enforcement to United States military, but there's got to be a line where a line is drawn, or you just got to test them, or you basically just got to, or a psych test, or do something.
That's the thing. The hiring process is a joke. Like them, not only them, but everybody needs to go through a thorough mental examination. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, not just like one session. Hey, you good? Or check their background. No, it needs to be multiple sessions. I'm not talking thorough.
I'm assuming you're not talking just one rando test. I'm talking like a couple tests.
Yeah, no, you need to do sessions.
Like several sessions, because honestly, being a police officer, it ain't for everybody. I know I can't do it.
No.
Bro. I would be the first to admit that the cops, like, don't think this is me saying you guys are all fucking terrible or military shouldn't have a job. I know I couldn't do it. The first time a motherfucker got smarter than me, I'm pistol whipping him. So I know I couldn't do it, but I'm also smart enough to realize that I can't do that. I can't. Or I'm going to be like that cop on the news that I'm beating the shit out of somebody. I can't do it. But other people need to also realize that. They're like, if you go home every night and you think, oh, God, I saw that black guy down the alley. It was dark. I thought he had a weapon. I was justified for pulling my gun on him. Or I saw the Migo, running. I thought he robbed the store. Thought he robbed the Lowe's. Oops, didn't mean to say Lowe's, but
why did you bring up Lowe's?
Well, because I said Migo.
You said Migos.
But
so there is a similar topic.
Before you go into that, I wanted to flip the script a little bit because me and McDermott were arguing about this topic earlier. Oh yeah, I had to bring it up.
I don't want to do this with you.
I've said my piece on this, like about the cops. Like I don't agree with what they did at all. Now, do I think that guy? I don't want to say didn't get what he deserved, but all right, take the police out of that situation. Like, say there was no police at all whatsoever there whenever that guy was doing all the things he did. Like, they reported, he was at one convenience store, went in, bought some, water or something, was sitting outside just being a dick to people, and the store owner told him to leave. He called her a fucking leech and said, get back in the fucking store, and rode off. And then, I guess she had talked to the police or the deputies or whatever, and so they were looking for him. They found him at another convenience store, and he was being a complete dick there. So they approached him, and the report I said never said anything about him being cooperative at first, because what the police statement says is first thing that he did was go up to the cop that first responded to him and tried to grab him or picked him up by the legs and body slammed him into the sidewalk head first, and then started spitting on them, biting him, all this shit. He was the guy was dazed and knocked the fuck out for a second. So what I'm saying is then the other two cops came in and all right, but say the cops weren't there and this was you, you're the store owner or you're someone there that he's being a dick to, and you approach him, tell him, get the fuck out. Apparently, he wasn't anywhere near his hometown or whatever. But, he's in this random place just being dicks to people. Say that was you or you're someone in your family or whatever. Tell me you're not going to put hands on this dude.
I'm not a cop. That's about that. I'm still going to say the same fucking argument I yelled at you for earlier.
Good. I'm not
a fucking trained cop. I'm a fucking human being.
Exactly my point.
Not trained and has mace and fucking a taser and a fucking beanbags and a fucking nightstick and two other fucking guys with me. I'm not a cop. And if the guy doesn't put hands on me, I'm ignoring the motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if he talks shit to a fucking store clerk. I mean, to be honest, she's probably a bitch too, I mean, who calls the cops on just somebody being a dick?
I mean, I'm sure there was more to it than that, but
if that
still,
if that was the case, all of New York City would be on death row.
Exactly. If that's the case, then I'm getting the cops called on me 24/7. Like,
but
like, I get what you're trying to say. Like, obviously, if that guy's trying us or he comes at us or spit, obviously you're gonna fucking hit the guy. I mean, most people would.
But
I'm also not a cop. Like, you signed up for that job. You signed up to get assaulted.
I agree.
Spit on, fucking shot it. Like, you did that to yourself.
100% agree. I'm not saying what they did was wrong. My point that I was trying to make was that if it was like just a regular citizen and the dude got like he ended up like whooping the dickhead's ass, like he got what he deserved. He didn't get what he deserved by the cops, but like you deserve to get arrested by the cops. But if the cops weren't there, you deserve to get your ass beat for being a dickhead in some random fucking town. That was the point I was trying to make.
To an extent, if a cop, I ain't gonna say too much on camera, but like, I mean, you know how I operate sometimes. If you did something one of your own, bro, and a cop throw an elbow at you or they slam you a little hard or something, hey, you deserve that shit, bro. But what I just saw there,
they didn't
bro,
that.
You got mad that the man fucking made you look dumb. And I was raising my hand because my question was, hey, was there proof that he tackled the cop to the ground? Oh, probably not, because
there's no
released the dash cam and they don't have a fucking body cam on.
That was the other. That was the other point that I was making about them being involved. Was that that was the dumbest thing they could have done, was not having a body cam. So the statement that they made, like written down on their written statement, doesn't mean shit without like the only thing to check their story is that dash cam. So they better hope it matches up.
And I don't think it's going to.
Craig, you would like this one, Craig. Do you have Netflix?
No, I don't.
Damn.
No, was it Netflix? Not Netflix. I'll have to get back on what that show was on.
You have anything besides cable?
The show me and Dickin were watching.
Oh,
like the Baltimore City the gun task force.
Yeah,
I forget the name of it. So that right there is the prime example of they just like they would lie all the time about shit.
Oh, I mean, everybody knows,
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
cops are criminals.
Like what is? But like that's what I'm saying. Like to me, it just until I see a video proof that motherfucker tackled the cop. What point does that man have though? Like I can see spitting on him, but why would you just walk up and tackle him? Yeah. At that point, like that's a whole different. And then that tells me that cop was piss poor trained, or he's just a bitch. Because if
or a combination of both.
Suspect who possibly has a weapon, you don't know what's going on. He just made threats to another clerk. I'm sorry, that motherfucker approaches me. I already have my gun on him, or I have a fucking taser out, or something. I'm not just gonna let him walk up to me and fucking grab my legs and be like, "Oh shit, can I?" Oh, you tackle me, and then like, no, you're gonna
now we're gonna beat the fuck out of you.
Pull out a taser. So that's why it just sounds like
this
bullshit.
Close. It was this close to turning into the next George Floyd. If that person
would have been black, Arkansas would have burnt to the ground right now. I'm sorry to bring it up.
Because it's a white guy. Because it's a white guy and this shit ain't being blasted all over the place.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad the fucking black guy said it. Because I've been thinking that shit since fucking I've been watching that video. This is fucking bullshit that, you know what? The white guy gets fucking abused by cops, and where's the fuck's Black Lives Matter? Where's the fucking cop haters at now?
I said to the point where...
Nowhere. They're fucking nowhere.
No, because the guy was white. Because the guy was white. Why would they? I'm just saying, it's just the one thing that comes through. I'm just saying that when it comes
George Floyd suffocated. This guy got the shit beat out of him. He almost died in a harsher way.
You would suffocate if I put my knee down on your neck too for all that amount of time.
He's not disagreeing.
You would too. Let me put my knee on the back of your neck and let me put you on the wedge.
He's agreeing with you. No, listen. Had that person
I got the shit beat out of him, and nobody gives a fuck because he's white.
Exactly.
It's not news. It's not news.
I'm just simply saying if he would have been black. I'm just simply saying if that was the case, because as conflicted as this country is right now between cops, white folks, and black folks getting beat up. If he would have been black, Arkansas probably would be burning to the ground right now.
And Baltimore City, because they like to burn their shit down for anything
Baltimore doesn't know no damn better. Of course they would burn down. It's a shithole to begin with.
I'm not disagreeing with
I hate going to that fucking city.
I'm not disagreeing with the whole, black guys getting the shit beat out of them by cops and shit. I'm not disagreeing with, that's an outrage. But because he's white, it doesn't matter.
I'm actually mad because this was our one time as white people to have a good fucking ride about something, and we're all dropping the ball.
Right, we are dropping the ball. Like,
go at it.
The fuck you guys rushed the fucking Capitol building because.
Listen, Craig, the last time we organized together as a whole, it was the KKK. So we got to practice our fucking riding skills together. But, like, I'm telling you, like, this was our fucking time to go fucking, like, burn down the store like Rue 21 and fucking America. This is our time to go fuck some white people's stores up, and we're dropping the.
And we're just gonna sit there and just watch.
Hey,
so I'm just saying. Now you know how we. Now you know how we.
You can't because us white people came to your fucking protest too, motherfucker.
Hey,
you gotta join in on our shit.
That guy that got beat,
George Floyd.
He has that person in the car videoing to thank because that cop saw that person videoing. Or it would have gotten a lot worse. He could be the next George Floyd right now, but he's not because he's white.
The story I read, they actually credited that lady to saving his life because they said without her filming that, they would have not have stopped.
No, he would have been the next George Floyd.
I want to bring up the next fucking cop story because this one is what makes me fucking skyrocket.
Well, and that's why
I don't even want to look at you right now.
Well, sorry.
Well, and
look at who?
No, you're good. It's and this is why we bring it up. Whenever I mentioned about earlier how there are some situations that are those obvious.
Fuck you too.
Like this one, right? This obvious situation that's not okay. And then you have this one. It's not. A lot of questions. This next one is still a lot of questions about. About a month ago.
Fuck this
guy. About a month ago.
Oh, I'm gonna need some alcohol for this one.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah. Someone by the name of,
it makes you feel better. I have no sympathy for him because he's a fucking moron.
So let me kind of give a little backstory.
Give the recap, Tim. We'll be quiet for a minute.
So back in July, you had this young man. Looks like he's in his early 20s. Andrew Tekel Sundberg. I don't even know how to pronounce.
That's still good though. Like he wasted his life. You know.
Yeah, he looks like. This picture looks like a nice kid, right?
Yeah.
But he was shot and killed
for being a fucking idiot.
He was shot and killed after a 6-hour standoff with police. Basically, what happened, which led up to this incident with police, is he fired shots into a neighbor's apartment. Now, I couldn't find out what caused that. There's no story out there for what caused him to do it. They never said
why. Mental health was what they said.
But yeah, and so basically, it was this female neighbor who was in there with her 2 children. Which, if you look here on whatever side of the screen, I guess it's your right side of the screen. There's a woman here. She looks like she's in tears. But I'll get to her in a moment. Basically, he shot into her apartment, and police were brought to the scene and evacuated her and her children out, as well as, I guess, anybody else that was in the building. Police reported seeing a gun before they did fire. Reports say that he was on a cell phone during the 6-hour standoff, but it's not clear if he still had the gun on his person at the time of shooting. Does that really matter? Maybe
Hold on, you left out the big part. He actually grazed her. Like the bullet grazed her. Like it actually
possibly.
Hit her.
She said possibly.
She said she thought it did, but it could have been a broken vase because a lot of stuff happened.
Well, if you shoot a gun so close and it breaks, you get a piece of glass like that.
It's still his fault. It's still his fault.
Yeah.
So basically, before he was shot,
she called the police on him.
Yeah, before there was 2 snipers on a roof that shot him. Before that happened, body camera footage picked up an officer yelling, "Gun." And then 46 seconds passed from that point to the time of the shot. 46 seconds is a long time. I'm not going to pause for that. I mean, we could do it for dramatic effect, but 46 seconds is a long time. That means they still had time to really plan what they were doing. And some might say, well, yeah, if they saw a gun, they should have fired immediately. No, I think they were doing everything they could to not fire. That's why it was a 6-hour standoff.
No, they did. Because they said gun, 46 seconds went by, and there was
2 shots.
There was 2 shots.
There was 2
shots. He shot trigger on a young kid.
Exactly.
He shot that gun. He shot that gun twice, and then that's when they shot him.
Yeah, and so there's also a witness that claims they also heard officers yell, "Drop it," and "Hands up." So it sounds like he had multiple warnings to drop this gun.
Yes.
All right. Now, McDermott, you mentioned, or one of you guys mentioned about mental health. Those that knew him supposedly said that he had been through mental health crisis, suffered from depression. Understood. I mean, that happens. You know, is that what started the incident? Right? Because we don't really know. There's one of those communities out there that's really protesting this. That's what you see here on the other side of the screen. The Communities United Against Police Brutality was having like a little rally / protest outside the apartment complex, saying that the killing was not justified.
Yeah.
But supposedly, shots were still even being fired as police were evacuating this woman and her children, and I guess anybody else.
Yes.
During this rally, you can hear her kind of in the background, and there's a TikTok video I saw really up close, like right on her. And she's yelling, "Had he shot and killed me, would he be a bad man then? If that's the case, why isn't he a bad man now?"
Exactly.
Right? And so the ultimate question comes in. Nobody's glad that this young man is dead. Nobody. But at what point are we okay with police using lethal force to keep everybody else safe?
Because they waited.
That's the question.
How many hours, Tim? Or Pop? I'm sorry, Pop.
Six.
Six hours.
6 hours.
And he still refused to cooperate or anything. Like,
shouldn't have been that long.
Everybody at that point
Shouldn't have
knew
been that long.
he was in the wrong. To start the whole thing off, he popped 3 fucking bullets into that metal door, shot through her fucking house. Luckily, the 2 cops that were there at the doorway got her and those kids, like, they got her out, and she's like, my kids are in there. You see those
and
two
the kids just coming out. I'm like, get the kids out. Get those
they
kids
just
out.
come
Come
walking
on.
out nonchalantly, and thank God he wasn't shooting whenever they came out.
Those kids were telling them, those cops were telling them kids, guys, come on.
And then later on, he's hanging out the window, talking to somebody on the cell phone. I mean, I don't know if, like, that had anything to do with his mental health, but, like, he was sitting there, like, you could hear him talking on the phone and talking to the cops, but, like, he's, like, stuttering a lot. But he doesn't really seem scared. He's cussing out somebody, but
the police were trying to talk to him. They had negotiators and everything.
Yeah, they had negotiators.
They tried to reason with this man.
They even brought in the parents.
That's who was on the phone.
Most likely.
They even brought in the parents. Tried text messages.
No. I thought, from what I read and watched, the mom or what, they were pissed because they wanted to be used on that.
Right.
Yeah,
so there's 2 stories that are painted there. The parents went on social media the next day and said, we're pissed because the cops didn't allow us to get involved in the negotiations. Wrong.
Intervene.
Go watch the video on YouTube. It explains that the parents showed up at 12:30 a.m. Were there. They tried to get a hold of the kid through text messages, phone calls, and video calls, and unsuccessful in all of those. So
and they're not just going to let you march in.
Right.
No,
so yes, they did try, but the parents are trying to paint a picture of, oh, they didn't let us be part of the negotiations. They didn't let us try to help. Yes, the fuck they did. Now you're just painting a picture because you want money, and they're already getting it.
I don't think it's as much the money. Like, so all right, for example,
GoFundMe's taking care of that. $20,000.
So for me, it's like, all right, if this was my kid, and we're in this situation, and this happened, obviously as a parent, your son just got killed. Whether he did something better, that's still your fucking kid. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like
I'd
any
still
one
be
of our
heartbroken.
kids or someone like, yeah, like our son just did something dumb and could have killed somebody, and he just got killed. The parents right now could be in that grief stage where, like, you know, they're like, they don't want to believe he did wrong. Like, any parent's going to automatically think that. But to me, it's like, why are we protesting right here? One, that's just a slap in the face of that lady who almost lost her life or her kid's life.
Look at
that's
where
just
it
a
was.
smack in her face. But number 2, we're protesting this. But we're not protesting the actual incident in Arkansas, but this because the kid, I had mental health. Motherfucker, I do too.
Look at where it was.
The house and I'm shooting in random houses. Please, nobody feel sorry for me. I deserve to get my fucking head splattered. 6 fucking hours is a long fucking time, and like Craig said, that's too long for my comfortability. An hour after that motherfucker's not coming out, take the fucking shot. You already showed you don't give a fuck. You're shooting. Take the fucking shot.
You were shooting at police officers. If you look at the video when it started, the one cop goes, police department, boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
And he shot at police officers.
Protesting is happening because look at where it was. Minneapolis. Where George
exactly.
Floyd,
it's a double-edged.
Whatever that group was, that was the Communities Against whatever, they're using this situation because it's in Minneapolis.
And
And
that's
yeah,
the problem.
guys,
I love that
black
you.
person.
I love that you brought up the point that that girl came up to the crowd of protesters, because not only did she say like
Cool it.
what you said, but she also told them this is not a George Floyd situation. George Floyd was
I didn't hear
unarmed.
that part.
Yeah, George Floyd was unarmed. That man was shooting at us.
If you
This
saw-
is wrong. You're protesting for nothing. Like, that's what she told them.
She actually she commended the police officers. Did she say she
would
she
too,
commended
yes.
the police officers for
I
getting
just-
in there? Well, then again, it was her kids involved. So I would imagine like, yeah, they got my kids out. They needed to take care of this. He wasn't, and he was acting like a damn fool, and they had to do what they had to do.
Yep.
We just talk shit on the cops, and I'm gonna say this situation. Do I like that they waited that long? No, because
No.
like what that kid could have had whatever. You don't know what he had. You still fucking blew his head off earlier.
Yep.
But and fuck the parent. I don't give a fuck at this point. You're getting money off GoFundMe. Suck a dick.
20,000.
Anyway, number two. But these cops in Minneapolis. Just think about Baltimore City, Minneapolis, a couple other big cities where like Chicago, like
New York
where
City,
these cops
Chicago.
have these bad names painted. These motherfuckers were about to get shot themselves because they're too afraid now to fucking pull the trigger too soon.
Yes.
Like
They
Tim
did.
just from what back to Tim. They're not. They're trained a certain way, but now it's like every one of those fucking guys' heads there are like, if I take the shot, am I going to get fired? Am I going to prison?
Yep.
Because George Floyd, not George Floyd, the fucking Pat, whatever, Shavar, or whatever the
Yeah.
fucking loser's name was, that killed George Floyd. He just painted Minneapolis a terrible police department. Whether these guys are the best or not, they just try to handle a situation that they just sat here for 6 hours. So it's like you have a hit or miss. Like the last topic we just talked about, those cops all should be fired, put in fucking prison for assault.
100%.
Because if I beat a guy that senseless in a one-on-one fight, I'm going to prison for assault for a year.
Yep.
These cops now just did everything extra,
Yeah.
above what they had to fucking do.
They really did.
So like,
what'd you say by the book? What?
Everything. by the book.
I would say by the book. Other than that, like I'm not a cop, so I don't know like how long you want.
Your own personal opinion.
Standoff. Like I think they did. I mean, the standoff to my liking was probably, but
Too
if they got
long.
everybody evacuated and they didn't feel like anybody was in fear, then yeah, let the kid sit in there until he wants to come out and blow his head off.
Those two that were like right there at the door whenever all the whole thing first started, like they like the way that they were tactical about everything, taking care of each other, making sure both of them were like in the right positions, but they were protected. Like they did everything perfect there.
Get the kids out.
Yeah, got the kids out, got the woman out. Did they in the end wait too long? Yeah, I think they waited
6
too long.
hours is still wait. Honestly, 3 hours would have been a max, but 6 is just way too long.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just bleeding the situation out.
I think if since the buildings were all clear and the harm that he could have done, and I mean if the kid goes outside with the gun or looks out the window, he's fucking dead anyway. The cop's gonna shoot him immediately. But I think since everybody was kind of out of harm's way, they were kind of like, let's see if we can defuse this. Because, I mean, like, do I sympathize with the mental health stuff? Yeah, because that kid could have been in a state of mind that nobody fucking understands. You know, like, who knows what that kid had going through or anything. So, like, obviously the cops are hearing that from the parents, like, hey, he has mental health issues, like this and this and this. Like, so now the cops are like, okay, maybe we let this kind of die down. Maybe he'll start turning over to be like, what the fuck am I doing? Or, honestly, they might have cross our mind like maybe he'll just fucking shoot himself, and then it's kind of a win-win for all of us. We don't look like the bad guys, and he's done. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
well, with a police officer, your job's also to preserve life. I mean, but I understand where you're coming at with that. But like with
everybody,
that's your number one job of a situation: preserve life.
Right. I mean, everybody wants to throw the mental health thing in there. Yes, I also sympathize with that, but that's also like recent school shooting. Oh, mental health. Okay, he still shot how many kids? Like
mental health's real, but that doesn't excuse.
That doesn't
behavior.
excuse.
You can't make other people evil because of the lethal force that they had to take. We give them that right, and they should have that right. It's just what's really coming into question in our society is when are we okay with it and when are we not?
Like, say that to the protesters. What if that was them in their apartment next door and they got
they're not going to think like that. You know they're not thinking like that. Because they're there for like, especially groups like that. Like let's put this in an example, right? Let's put this in an example. All right, so the fact that it was a black young male, I mean, what, 20, 21, he was young, right? All right, black young male He didn't technically harm anybody. So people are like, Minnesota or Minneapolis Police Department, you know, blah blah blah. That's fucking news. That's content. That is the news. That's content for the fucking news. That's content for the people who don't give a fuck if young black kids get shot and killed by the police. These fucking groups that are running this shit, and this is why I wish fucking a lot of these Americans would sit down and fucking see this dumb shit. You're putting your heart and soul into a fucking, like, the Black Lives Matter stuff, right? I mean, nobody know. Like, originally it probably started off as a good thing. Like, yeah, too many black people were getting fucking killed for no fucking reason by the cops.
And they were.
And as three white guys here, we can never say we understand. We said, like, I don't know what it's like to drive down the street and get pulled over and think, fuck, I'm gonna get shot. No, I have that white privilege inside of me still. Like, yeah, I was a little gang, little thug, little motherfucker, but like, they saw the white guy first before they smelled the drugs. So it was always like, at first I was treated like the white guy before the criminal. In return, as the black guy, you're a piece of shit right off the bat. It don't matter if you're driving a fucking Benz, if you're a fucking $100 million and earner fucking year, you get pulled over in the fucking, you know, the dead of night, you're a criminal automatically.
That's the way it's always been, and especially for a person of color when it comes to it. If you ask most African Americans, they despise cops, and then you got some that's like, I'm cool with them. They haven't done nothing to me. But like I said, with that situation, I've never been put in that situation with a police officer. I hope I never comes to that.
I mean, it's a good thing you don't drive. It's a good thing you don't drive.
I get originally these protests and stuff, but now people gotta realize these protests are money making. Like, the people who are running these protests that are chanting the normal people like us up to go riot, go fucking protest, they're making money off of you. They don't give a fuck about changing shit. They don't give a fuck if a fucking white cop shoots a black kid. They actually hope and pray that he does. That way they get more fucking money from this shit. It's all money making shit. Nobody understands that. Instead, let's look at the bigger picture. The money you're raising and getting from this stuff, the shirts that are being bought, this all. Why don't you turn that money into the police department for more training? Why don't you do something that would help your people out instead of just fucking selling more shirts? Like, you're not changing shit by doing any of that. And it's sad. And this is exactly where we're at with this situation is, one, mental health is fucking real. A kid had a fucking problem. Obviously, the parents, now I can see why the kid ended like this, because the parents fucking probably coddled his ass, and they're still doing it to this day, even after his fucking brains are in the apartment. You're still fucking coddling him like he did nothing wrong. I'm sorry, your fucking son shot into a fucking apartment.
At a police officer.
Gave you 6 fucking hours, and the cop to this day, I'm never gonna know what it feels like to take a guy's life. None of us. I mean, unless like we end up having to do, but like, think about that cop going home. He's not going home and thinking like, "Hey, babe, you trying to make a meatloaf tonight? I just got me another." Like, no, that's
gonna fuck with his head.
Probably looking at his kids this whole entire month and thinking, "Holy fuck, how do I prevent this in my kid?" Like, being a cop is scary. The same, you see the worst of the fucking worst in society.
It's not for everybody.
So, like,
you have to have the right mindset to be a cop. Yeah. You have to. Because if you go in there with a weak mind, you're dead.
Yeah.
This is America in general, not to throw this something. When we riot and when CNN and Fox News, fucking the newspapers, these articles, these fucking guys, so fuck LeBron James. When LeBron James gets on here and speaks about something, you think that motherfucker has ever been roughed up by the police? Fuck no. But these young fucking people are fucking listening to these stupid fucking rich people and thinking, oh my God, they're right. No, you know who only, we the people. We are the 99 motherfucking percent. If we 99% stick the fuck together, shit changes. They can't change shit without us.
But it's these
they can't do shit without us.
And I agree with you. It's these groups. They use it for advertisement and get rich because they use one key word. All of that, like Black Lives Matter or, you know, like any of these other, like the communities against police brutality, all these organizations, they use a keyword awareness. There's awareness for everything. Okay, what does that awareness do? All it does is cause drama. Because
wear a colored bracelet.
Right, because it's talked about on social media. But the actual awareness, all it does is get somebody rich. No,
somebody's getting paid.
To you have the idea of awareness, but you don't have the idea of how to fix the problem. Cool that you have awareness. What the fuck are we doing as people, as we the people, to fix the problem? Not shit, because we want to rely on our government to, or, you know, someone else to fix the problem. Hence the problem that we're in now, where our government has too much power because we gave it to them, and now look at the shit that they're doing. But that's for another fucking topic.
I mean, the cops are at a shitty point anyway, because, like I said, I don't fuck with them. Like, I know some cops personally. Like, I know there's a lot of good ones, and there's a lot of bad ones. And at this point, the bad ones make the good ones not be trusted.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, the government itself, the cities, the deputies, the fucking state, they're using these guys anyway. You don't meet a quota, your ass is in trouble. Yeah. You don't meet a fucking, like, that's insane. They're here to serve and protect. So why is running radar? That's entrapment. Running radar should not be a thing. That's entrapment. That's you're trying to trap me now. You're not serving and protecting. You're trying to trap me. Running radar, if you get me for speeding, it's because I blow past you when you're going the speed limit. Right. And keyword, you're going the speed limit. Yeah, and if I pass you, that means I'm not going the speed limit. I am now, since speeding, now you can write me a ticket instead of sitting along the road and hitting a radar and you're trapping me. Yep. I mean, these guys, these undercover cops who go and sell drugs to people or buy drugs from somebody. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't care if you're an undercover cop or not. That's entrapment. What if I'm walking down the street and I'm not thinking about cocaine for a whole week, and here's a fucking fake cop or an undercover cop waving a little bag, and he's like, yeah, okay, $10. You first buy from me, $10. You're now enticing an ex-addict, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know how often people go back to that because they're like, oh, fuck.
And that's the problem. They're going after the users and not the people
they do that shit to the big drug dealers, too, but, like...
But not enough. I mean, like, the entrapment part of, like, the fucking dealers, like, the ones that are, like, you know, a big drug bust.
Get out anyway.
Like, a big, yeah, right. Like, a big raid or something. Like, that's fine. But, like, you're going to the users. Like, what the fuck are you even doing?
Yeah. They're not going to turn their fucking guy in. No. They're going to turn the local drug dealer, and they're not going to fucking get you the El Chapo. Exactly. But, you know.
We need...
No, I wanted to go kind of transition into the next one, but I didn't want to cut you guys off because we're having a great conversation. You got Craig. Why don't you go ahead and whatever you were going to say, go and finish this off.
The way I was looking at it, honestly, we can't. When it comes law enforcement, there's ways on it. Honestly, with this, the methods honestly need to be changed because, like you said, there's good cops, there's bad cops. We can't live in a lawless society. We need law and order in this country because if we don't have it, it's going to make us look like savages to the world. But then again, they already look at the United States we already look at us as savages. But then again, it's shit. But honestly, like I said, there's good cops, bad cops. It's the training. It's a double-edged sword between what happened there, the George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter, black versus white. It's a double-edged sword. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's been so bad for so long, though. Yeah. Like, how long would it take to fix? Yeah. A long fucking time, so
it's not getting fixed.
No, it's not. It's not. It's all bullshit.
So, like McDermott, you were talking about, you know, police officers who have to put themselves in that situation where they do have to use lethal force, and you know what do they tell their kids, which is why I kind of wanted to transition to this next part. We talk about kids and the role models that we have. You know, pro athletes supposed to be role models. I mean, I know they may not necessarily go into their profession with that in mind, but that's what you are. You're a role model. And as a lot of you guys know, I've been kind of stepping out from professional sports the last couple years. I still follow it, but I don't know. So, what was it? Was it yesterday or Tuesday? Earlier this week, there was a practice, NFL, with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams, last year's Super Bowl, correct? To which someone who kind of surprised me.
Tim, I hate to cut you off for a second, but I just saw Danny and Craig pull a beverage out of a what is that? Is that a mark?
What is that?
What is that?
Oh, this is actually a beer, you know, provided by, you know, our good friend Craig. You know, bringing me free shit. I'll always take free shit, especially
late birthday present.
Yeah, there you go. Especially when it's alcohol. So, Craig, why don't you explain what this is?
Actually, if you're familiar, not to bring up the wrestling point again, retired Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin recently came up with his own brand of beer. This is actually the Broken Skull. It's an American lager right out of Texas. finally got a 4-pack of this, and I've not
Let's
tried
see the
it.
label.
What is the percent of alcohol?
4.8.
Oh,
Okay.
that's light. That's
I was kind of hoping he would have did higher. But
No,
can
it's
you guys
American
crack
lager.
that open and kind of salute to each other and
I mean, I just did.
Well,
and
with all,
take a sip? Can you guys
well,
hit it together?
I would if we were
No.
if we were outside, I'd be all for doing a stone cold
Yeah.
salute. But
You
with
at
all
least
the
give a little-
but with all the equipment, I don't want to mess nothing
I
up
will
here.
cheers, but I'm not.
No,
like,
No, we can
Hey,
do
Reese,
we can do a light one. We can do.
I mean, it would have been a lot better slamming it off the head, but you know,
How's it taste?
be honest though.
Verdict?
Okay, so
No,
no.
I can tell you don't like it.
No,
I
I
can tell
do.
you don't like
No,
it.
I do like it. It's good. When it comes to like, it's definitely a light beer. When it comes to light beer, usually I prefer like Miller or I mean, I liked Bud Light back in the day. Bud Light, I can drink it. It's good. It's not bad. I even like Coors Light, even though it's a little watered down, but I like Coors Light. Labatt Blue Light, like I like my Canadian beer. But this one,
And crepes.
If you want my honest opinion, it tastes like it tastes like Budweiser.
a
little bit.
It's lighter than Budweiser.
To me, it tastes like Bud. A little. It has a hint of Bud.
It's almost kind of like Busch Light, and I'm like Busch Light's okay for me. Like it's not my preferred. I would drink it if I had it, but it's not my preferred.
So, would you say you would expect to see these beer cans in a trailer park?
Well, look who it.
yeah.
Well, look who it is. It's based
Yeah.
off of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So
if they can afford
any
it,
good
yes.
old boy's gonna love it.
Well, West Virginia, I think we got your fucking beer for you right here. These two gentlemen are drinking the new West Virginia State beer.
Heck yeah, Stone Cold. Can you smell what Stone Cold is cooking?
That's not what
that
he
is
says, Tim.
terrible. A traditional wrestling fan would throw this at your head right now for that.
I just want to get your reaction.
I am really disappointing you, Tim. I want to know. Do you actually know any of his catchphrases?
I know you watch wrestling. I know you watch wrestling a little bit when we was in high school.
Not during
When we was
that
in
time.
high school, you did.
Not
A
during
little
that
bit.
No, I got out of it.
Can I quit?
Yeah, I got out of
Not
it.
when Austin was there. Tim, you're fucking
No.
sad.
I actually can we stop? Like, my vibe's gone. I don't even want to be here anymore. He ruined it. He ruined the whole fucking segment.
You did.
This is fucking terrible.
That
Now,
part is-
now your hat just looks fucking dumb.
that part's 100% what you said is getting edited out.
Y'all see what you want. I'm finishing my beer.
So,
I mean,
so going back to the whole pro athletes thing, yeah. So at practice the other day,
Make sure you finish it.
a fight broke out between the Rams and Bengals, and apparently a widely known, great player in the NFL, Aaron Donald, apparently was swinging a helmet at someone, which was really surprising, right? It's funny, I actually heard something like right before we got on. It was just a little joke. It said that the NFL has decided to look more into this whole Aaron Donald situation. With that being said, they've decided to investigate Myles Garrett. It was a joke because how much the NFL loves Aaron Donald that they're going to investigate someone else who wasn't even there.
That is my whole, like, that's why I'll get to the kid point, but like my whole frustration is Myles Garrett did it in the game. Yeah, I mean, Mason Rudolph, his head's a little dented now, but because
Severely did it.
because he did it in the game, he got suspended. Aaron Donald does this shit, and because it's in practice, it's up to the Rams. Which, I mean, you know what? One, if anybody ever we are Marshalls again, I hope it's fucking them now. I hope that whole team fucking goes. But Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp live. Like, hell yeah to them.
Just those two.
Don't
Like,
worry.
yeah,
Don't worry.
but, like,
Buffalo will put him in their place week 1.
But Aaron Donald, I hope you go out and you have the worst fucking rest of your career. I hope that you get termites in your fucking house. I hope that you fucking blow your fucking knees out to where you're like my buddy Marine and you just got no ACLs left.
Bro.
I hope that, but I hope he's like you though. Maybe it'd be cooler to have no knees. Anyway, fucking
had me, motherfucker.
this is like, obviously, why the fuck would the Rams suspend their player when it's up to them? But like, why
They're
would
not.
like,
they're not.
and that's what, like, they already said they're
No.
not. But like,
Yeah,
that's
they're
what's
not.
frustrating is is like, look how many people look up to these fucking guys. Like when Odell Beckham was doing those catches, nobody ever was trying to catch the ball with one hand, so that motherfucker started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You
he's
know?
back in the end zone, just constantly doing it.
You know?
And that stupid hairdo.
And then look at like all these guys people are going to try to be like, you don't think that these guys are going to walk around thinking they can do whatever the fuck they want because Aaron Donald did in practice? They're going to get on the high school football field this year in practice. They're going to fucking get mad and fuck up, and they're going to be like, "Oh wait, the school can still suspend me, but I'm in practice." Like,
Yeah,
it's
these
just
kids.
and I'm sorry, a dude that has a temper like that, we're paying him that much money and we're glorifying this fucking piece of shit.
Well, the
Well,
thing,
and
That's a sport you love. Why are you so fucking mad?
Exactly. You're getting paid millions of dollars to play this game. But it's not just this situation. This is kind of, I already had this as a topic. This just kind of highlights this whole situation. The reason I was bringing this up initially was talking about like poor sportsmanship. Like, hold on, I'll pull it up for you real quick. People dropping the ball at the 1 yard line.
That poor
I
guy.
don't think he purposely did that, but
Yeah, but that's
poor
the
guy.
showing
Still
off aspect, and he's not the
I'm
only
cool with
person who's
that.
ever done it. There's I don't really care too much about the excessive touchdown celebrations because
I
I,
like
think
the-
that's
I love
all
them.
fun.
I love them. I love them.
But there's a level that goes with it. Even in baseball, at times charging the mound, or the lack of hustle, or in basketball, not following your shot.
Wait, time out. If
Right?
you're
And then
throwing at
these
me on
kids.
baseball, you're throwing at me on purpose, and I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm charging
that's
the
an
mound.
issue.
I'm
That's an
charging
issue.
the fucking
No,
mound.
I agree. I'm not talking about
okay.
people throwing up. I'm talking about, yes, in the majors, that's what kids see. And yet I see it now in young kids. If you got hit with a ball when you played Little League, you cried.
Yeah.
That shit
Now
hurts.
these kids are
shit hurts.
over here like they're gonna do something. Like, what the hell's the matter with you?
we're teaching them to be a violent fucking society.
Exactly.
What we're doing.
And that's
These kids have way
I
too
would
much
have been
hate.
cool. I would have been cool, like especially being on that line, bro. Like defensive line, offensive line. Like you're on that line, bro. Shit happens in them fucking little huddles, man. Shit, bro. You know how many times some dude punched me in my dick, well, my nuts. You know how many times like we've cleated people, we've got cleated. Like shit happens. I understand your frustration's going. It's hot. You're hot. You're out there fucking going hard. I get that. If he would have threw a couple punches or something, hey, that's one thing, man. Like just like Josh Allen, like how they had to kind of separate him. Like I was cool with that.
Well, that guy came.
Tempers flared. That you kind of hit your quarterback. You're not really supposed to do that.
Yeah,
bud.
no, it was wearing.
Yeah, he got mad.
If he's in a
I
re-
understand.
If he's in a
You
red,
know?
if you're in a red jersey practice, red means stop. You don't touch him. He hit him. I don't blame Allen for getting in it. He gave him a good shove. It's not like he punched him, but
If Aaron Donald and this guy had an issue, there's something was said that he maybe went low on Donald, wrote him up, or whatever. Whatever happened, if Donald would push him, threw a couple punches at him,
Right.
hey, I get that shit. I'm cool with that. That's human nature at that point. But
Well, you know-
to take a helmet and you like, bro, that's a whole different level. Of
Yeah,
and you're
that's
using-
assault.
You're
That's
using
assault.
a weapon.
That's
Some
assault.
fuckers standing there ready with
and the
two
fact,
helmets.
And the fact that the NFL, honestly, and the fact that the NFL already came out and said, with a situation like this, it's up. They said it's up to the teams in the scrimmage to basically say it's up to the teams. It's up to the teams who can officially suspend them. If that had been week one when we were playing Buffalo, he probably would have got ejected and he would have got fined and suspended. But since it's only a scrimmage,
Bro,
like really,
you've heard the crack whenever he hit the
Yeah.
fucking helmet. Like,
Yeah.
what are you fucking doing? Like, all right, but here's my thing. All right, minus that whole situation. Like, number one, is it like common that teams practice together? Like, and
Yeah, they-
every once in a
yeah.
great while, every
Yeah.
once in a
Okay.
great while, they usually all teams usually do a joint practice in the preseason at least
Okay.
once during the season.
Because
Alright,
it's
so-
nice to get that opposite scout team looking at you, like the other teams D
Okay.
looking at it.
Yeah.
It's not all, once regular season starts, nobody does.
well, yeah,
No,
no,
Really,
I get that.
It's rare to do that.
I get
but
that.
in the
So,
preseason, every team usually
It's
does
common.
it one time.
And preseason
Yeah.
it's common.
okay, so apparently this was like when the whole thing popped off. This was the
This was yesterday.
third scuffle. The third scuffle up to that point, and that's whenever they called like
They
all right,
called the
all
prac-
right,
they
we're
called it
done.
off.
Like break it up. Like maybe after the second time. Like I understand maybe not after the first time, especially if it was small. But like, all right, so it happened a second time, and you're just gonna let it keep going. Why not call it then? And prevent this.
I don't think it was smart for both those teams to say, hey, because it was Cincy and
LA.
Yeah, LA.
yeah.
The Super Bowl.
So we just were in the Super Bowl. Cincy got some feelings because they
Why are you
just
playing?
lost.
Why are you playing? Why are you
Yeah.
doing this? Why are you working with Cincinnati to begin with? After you
That was probably the dumb thing. Like, I understand you don't want to go in your division, but hey, why don't you just hit up another team that you just didn't see in the Super Bowl? Because you already know, since he kind of upset, you know, you guys are fired up. Like, you're one of the better teams in the NFL still. Why are you going head to head at each other right now? Save that shit for another time.
You're telling me the Chargers weren't available, the Raiders weren't
like
available.
Somewhere you're going thousands of miles away. LA could have fucking hit up.
Keep it in California.
Chargers, you know, and fucking Cincinnati could have hit up like. Fucking,
they could have talked to the Browns. They could have went to the Bears. They could have went to the
division.
Colts.
Yeah, so Chicago.
Pittsburgh and Steelers have done it before. Steelers and Ravens have done it. Like,
all right,
it's not uncommon because you already know each other's plays by that point. But
yeah, but there still might be some feelings in there because they're division. So, like, fucking Cincinnati, go to Chicago. It's not that far, you know.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, it's like so you say with Aaron Donald, he should get. Do you think he should get suspended for what happened?
Yeah, that motherfucker should miss just as much as fucking.
Well, I understand.
Myles Garrett did.
I understand. Yeah. I understand that, but like I said, the NFL. You know the NFL stance when it comes to that. Basically, it's a cop out blaming the other team that they have to. But corruption. If you suspend Donald, and I'm probably going to get razzed for this, if you suspend Donald and practice, that means that you're going to have to suspend every other scuffle that goes down with the rest of the league.
Not scuffle because he used a weapon and cracked somebody else in their fucking head.
That's the fact that he used a weapon, yes. Now, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. If the NFL is saying it happened in practice, we only care about games, hey, then let my man Deshaun Watson get his taint fucking rubbed and play the entire season, because what he did was outside of fucking practices and outside of games. Let my man Ray Rice come back, because he beat his fucking wife up in a fucking elevator, not even during game time. Let my man come back and smoke fucking weed and play wide receiver. Who gives a fuck at this point? If that's your cop out, you're saying, it happened in practice, we can't handle that shit. You're Roger fucking Goodell. You do. What the fuck are you telling me that you're going to allow that? No, it's because, and like one of our good buddies, Lee, has said, why the fuck would you suspend one of the best defense players in the NFL?
Exactly.
They said that all morning about that.
Super Bowl.
I just wanted your opinion with that. I just wanted like I said, I just wanted your opinion with that, because they're all like, well, one analysis said, well, if you suspend Donald, then we're going to be suspending everybody who has we're going to suspend everybody who has a scrimmage in every single game.
To get on Tim's point with the sportsmanship, have you guys ever watched that Last Chance U? Have you guys ever seen any?
I know what you're talking about.
So it's JUCO guys. Like, they're not they're guys who should be D1, but they had some trouble off the field or bad schooling. All right, so take it to college, right? We'll go to college. If a college kid did that in practice, the university is suspending them, kicking them out. It doesn't matter if I've seen guys who have been fucking top tier fucking players get kicked out of that college because they're not following rules. They're going to a meeting late. These motherfuckers show up to a team dinner 5 minutes late. They're fucking getting in trouble. Take that down to high school. Bro, we had a kid on my team who was the fastest motherfucking kid I've ever seen. And because he made a bad decision that wasn't that bad, he got called the N-word a couple times and got thrown out of this house party by this old lady because she didn't want him there. So he then in return threw some mustard on, did some stuff. Our high school coach kicked him off the team. Not anybody else at that party, but him off the team. Why? So you're telling me that we're going this far to where we're kicking all these kids off all the way through college, and then you get to the NFL just because you're a money-making guy?
Yep. You're a Super Bowl champion. You're the best player and the best defensive player in the NFL, and you have a big contract. That's why they're not talking.
So if my kid played football and he gets into a fight with a kid because the kid did something, even if Aaron Donald's ankles kept getting rolled up when they're trying to hurt him, throw a couple punches, push them, get face-to-face, scream at each other, do what you got to do. But if my kid then hits somebody with a helmet and gets thrown out of the football league, I'm going to go to the fucking Pee Wee commissioner. I'm going to say, with that video, I'm going to say, hey, well, my son's just modeling this.
Yeah.
So why does my kid get in trouble, but Aaron Donald's not getting in trouble?
But if it was
I paid my money for this fucking football team.
But I bet you if it was the backup middle linebacker for the Detroit Lions, you bet
Nobody
your ass.
give a shit.
But I bet your ass the league.
It's only big news because of who it is.
But if it's going to make news, and I bet you any money the NFL would have handled that. They would have been like, oh yes, but like he's not a money making famous guy.
It's just scary the way these young kids just. I don't know. It's no different than the way we modeled after athletes, but I don't know.
Yeah, but we modeled them.
Some athletes are okay, but a lot of them.
We model them in a different way, though. Like the athletes
some athletes are okay as role models.
For me, the athletes
are skeptical.
Yeah, they're all skeptical, man. They all come in with like guns and fucking. Yeah, no, trust me. They're all sketch, but that's a different. That's a different topic.
Dumbass.
So what I'm saying is though, like. I don't know.
So, like, as an example, I use my favorite basketball player was Karl Malone, the mailman, who was a big guy, but also had a hell of a shot.
Right.
Top of the key, he was money. Free throws, he was awesome. I was never a great free throw shooter, but I always copied his method. He got up to the foul line, it was toss the ball, and then he kind of like rolled in his hands, and then he would like move his lips. I don't know if he was saying a prayer or what the fuck he was doing. And so aside from the lips in a game, I would copy the rest of that to shoot my free throws. I still was awful, but
I did the Dwayne Wade one. I feel that I did the Dwayne Wade, and just like these shooting sleeves, these leg sleeves, bro. You know, when I play basketball or football, you know how fucking. That shit ain't do a motherfucking thing to help your game or nothing.
Bro,
listen, shooting sleeve and I didn't shoot any fucking better, but it's because AI did it. It's because Carmelo and it's because all these big names were doing that shit. Yeah. You want to do that shit.
Yeah, it was like when we were like older teenagers, that's whenever like AI was big, but that's whenever they started wearing that stuff. When we were kids, like Jordan didn't wear that shirt, fucking Pippen didn't wear that shirt, like
still looked good.
Jordan had like the armband or whatever, right?
Yeah, they still looked good, but they didn't go above and beyond like some of these athletes have went. Like they've ran out of ideas, so they have to go so absurd. Like McDermott said, the sleeve. Thank you for saying that.
That shit don't do nothing.
No,
it don't do shit. It's just meant to look good. I
will say
it's all in the head. It's basic. It's all mental. Yeah. It's all.
I will say visors. Like football is a little more like visors. That does help. Like it does, especially on a sunny day or something. That shit you can. I mean, it does help. And gloves are a fucking savior.
Oh, absolutely.
So like
I don't disagree with that.
It's a little different on football, but like. To go out and have a little fucking towel behind you. You know how often I ever wipe my hands with that fucking towel? I didn't. I just knew that the opposite cheerleaders were kind of looking at me because like they're like, damn, that motherfucker kind of look buff over there and shit. And I
could have used you last year during Pee Wee football.
Yeah,
that's all it was. It was all about sleeves, towel hanging out the back, wanted a visor. And I'm like, you're a quarterback. What the hell you want a visor for? I said, that shit's going to fog up and you ain't going to be able to see when you go to pass the ball.
The swag is, if he wants swag, just tell him get tattoos. That shit look good with the high sauce tattoos. Get tattoos. The fucking other shit, you're just paying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. You're just paying them money for no reason.
It's all promotional. Honestly, just
you just like you just threw 2 interceptions. What the fuck did that?
And yet we're paying, and yet
exactly.
And yet,
you'll change it.
And yet, Coke's giving you $30 million.
Shit, I put it on the wrong arm. I need to put it on my throwing arm.
Wait, give me this Gatorade. Drink it again. Oh wait, we gotta drink it with the logo showing out, so you can get your check.
That's like dudes wearing leggings. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there.
Everybody.
Dudes wearing the fucking leggings at the gym. Like, get the fuck out.
No, well, all right. So workout though. I can see that shit, like the compression stuff and workout, because it does. It actually,
the compression stuff does. I don't know,
like the scientific term, but like literally, like when you're wearing like tighter clothes or like the compression stuff, it actually helps your muscles. Like it does something in that aspect. That's actually what it should be used for. To go out and.
All right, then I'm gonna experiment. So after my surgery. During physical therapy,
you're supposed to wear a compression.
Right. So listen, so this whole time I could have prevented my ACL tears if I just wore fucking compression.
Now you're going.
No, I'm joking.
Black Lives Matter fucking.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But I am going to do an experiment. So whenever I'm going to physical therapy, well, it's not going to fit me, but. When I go to your legs are like fucking tree trunks, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yours is going to be too after surgery, you dick.
Only after like the first 3 days. So when I start going to physical therapy, when I'm done that, I'll start going to the gym, keeping my strength up in my legs, and I'll wear compression. I'm not wearing fucking leggings, but I'll wear
they're compression pants, not leggings.
I don't give a fuck. They're leggings. They look exactly the same as what women wear.
You know the knee sleeve, like I don't know. You've had so many fucking knee sleeves, bud. Like I lose track of your knee sleeves. It's not like it's like a compression one.
I can hear him.
Oh, he's getting his knee sleeves.
Like that shit, yeah. Like if you wear stuff like that, that fucking helps. That's
does.
what it was made for. It's not made for you to go catch a fucking 75-yard touchdown. He opened up the one fucking room dedicated to his fucking knee sleeve.
He's putting on his knee brace. Give him a break.
So while he's doing that, we do have a public service announcement coming to you.
You found it?
Did you find it? All right, well, we're going to do a quick public service announcement, and then he can come back to his knee sleeve. So
I've used this. It doesn't work.
Oh, that's probably because it's ghetto. Go ahead, Tim.
It's not.
Probably.
It's a
So a public service announcement. Have you ever been in a position where you've ever had to deal with a Karen? All right, and find yourself getting severely agitated dealing with this Karen, right?
Yes.
I deal with one almost every day.
Here's several tips on how to quickly shut down a Karen. When you're in an escalated situation, you can ask her, "Do you have a pen?" If she answers yes, you can say, "Well, you better get back in before the farmer notices that you're missing." If she says no, you can say, "I'll call the farmer because it's probably not wise to let you loose." Number 2, there is someone for everyone. Yours might be a psychiatrist. Number 3, I'm not violent. I don't support animal abuse. Number 4, I didn't mean to offend you, but it was a huge bonus.
I like it.
Number 5, too bad. You'll like this one then. Too bad you can't count jumping to conclusions and running your mouth as exercise.
All right, that one I actually like.
Number 6, I'm sorry that you were offended that one time you were treated the way you treat other people. Number 7, I hear there's a new makeup that you ingest. It's designed to make you pretty on the inside. Number 8, my middle finger gets a boner every time it sees you. And number 9, some people should use a glue stick instead of chapstick. That's shutting down Karens, a public service announcement. Back to you.
I hate that we give him free fucking reign every fucking week to do this shit.
All right, so Tim, here's the thing.
You loved it.
For the next, I'm going to say 3-4 weeks, you are no longer allowed to have your own little segment. We are going to have our own little segment.
Did you come up with that?
So, yeah.
Why?
You came up with all that.
I don't know. He was reading something. I saw his eyes.
In front of me.
Oh, okay.
All right,
so
you sat down this week, right? And you were thinking, like, these came to your head. You didn't read these off.
The first one didn't, and so I found that one. I was like, "Oh, I got to find more." And so I looked them up, and I couldn't find any good ones. So those I came up with.
I mean, 3 of them were all right. Like,
what brought this on? Did you have a situation?
I just saw it.
Oh, okay. All right. So I want you to test these theories because let me tell you something right now.
I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't even get through the third one. Because that Karen is going to be that Karen is going to be screaming her fucking head off at you the entire time that you're talking and not listening to a goddamn word you're saying.
Nope.
So all of it would be for nothing because that is the number one thing in this world that you just can't shut down.
Honestly, Tim, I've worked in and I work in retail too.
Okay,
so I'm telling you,
y'all know that was a joke, right? That's
yes,
why I said it was a public service announcement.
I know. Okay. I'm just saying because
I understand, but I'm saying I deal with one at least every day. I work up at that day.
Bro, they're like a 3-headed serpent. Like you.
Well, our viewers might be dumb, Tim. Like, what if the viewers here are here to see me? They might really say that shit.
Yeah, they might actually try it
for you.
You just said something.
Well, now that we have Craig. now that we have Craig's, that cuts it down to a 4. So there's a good chance that 25% of our viewers are going to be dumb.
So you just set somebody up for failure.
Yes, you did. And
Yeah.
hey, if you're here to follow me and like my content, I'm sorry that he set me up for failure many times when he gave me fake trainings at my old job.
Facts, and tried to make him read.
Hey, speaking of jobs, so I saw that guy this week.
I know where this is.
I saw the security guard this week.
So this is an update.
So against all of Craig's advice, I chose to do the opposite because Craig's no fun and he's a prude.
My man!
Fuck you.
So I explained myself to this man at first. And originally he said, like, so I saw him, finally I was like, hey. And he looked at me, I was like, look, man, I said, I just want to talk to you for a second about what you saw in the bathroom last week. I said, listen, I didn't feel like going into the stalls, and he's kind of backing up a little bit, you know. He's like,
you blame him?
And so I told him, I said, look, man, like I took a nasty shit before work. I don't know if it was sweat, like I was just double wiping my ass, and it just was easier to do it right there. And he goes, oh, thank God, I thought you were just trying to masturbate in the mirror while looking at yourself. And then, so I won right there. Like, I won. Like, he was relieved, but I took it to the next level. And then I responded with, oh, no, you don't have to worry about that. If I was masturbating in the bathroom, I would have been at the urinal like I did before. But it doesn't flush very well, so I learned my lesson. So now we're back on bad terms again.
Imagine if he ejaculated right as he opened the door. God.
You couldn't just let it go.
No, like
No,
it wouldn't be.
I told you, don't bring it up.
No, this is perfect. It wouldn't be a McDermott story.
Yeah, got that right.
Without you taking it too far. So,
well, I did tell him like
exactly what I planned for.
Hurrying away from me, I was like, "Don't worry, I never did it here. It was in like a gas station bathroom. The urinal, my cum clogged the urinal up, and then I haven't seen him walk through our building since that day." So
those poor people you work with, they just don't understand. You know what, though, McDermott?
They really don't.
We do. We understand.
New word form.
Well, I had it in the bag originally, Craig.
All right.
God damn.
I'm just
I just chose. I thought we were in good terms then. I thought he was going to be like,
okay, okay.
He wasn't cool. He wasn't cool.
All right, good for
you.
You
Be my best friend?
All right, good for you.
I mean, he found out you weren't masturbating.
You got the situation handled.
He found out you weren't masturbating, so he was like, all right, cool. You know, like, I didn't want to see you wipe your ass right there, but, you know, at least you weren't masturbating. Yeah. But then you took it too far and was like, but I do masturbate here. Oh, well, that's where I go too. Like what the fuck?
No, well, I told him, like, I didn't tell him where. I just said, like, but don't worry. Like, I learned my lesson about masturbating into a urinal anyway. That shit clogs it, and it's weird to clean that up.
You got too specific. You got too specific.
That guy's face.
He looked terrified.
At first, it was exactly because I'm trying to without knowing what he looks like. I'm like, you approach him. He's like, "What's up, bud?" And you give him the story, and he's like, "Oh, thank God!" I thought, and then you get into the whole masturbation. He's like I'm trying to picture what his face looked like.
So you know how like
pale and white,
like when like a loved one or like you were dying, like you go through the different stages of grief. Like he went through the different stages of like relief. Like he was nervous at first. It was almost like we were at the airport and Marines saw a Muslim. Like Marines obviously like approaching them. Marines gonna be
like when you see a Chinese person. Like if you see a Chinese person. I never said I was scared of them. I just said they were dumb.
And then it's like, oh, okay, like he was a United States Muslim though, so like not as scary, not as bad. And then it's like,
who can speak English good? Okay.
And then he comes up to you. He comes up to you, and you start talking. You're like relieved, and you're like, all right, man, this guy kind of. And he's like, yeah, like I tried to blow something up before, it didn't work well. Like that's like, think of that man's face. That's what happened because like I hit him with like don't worry, I already did it, and like he kind of like was like. Yeah, when he saw like I was being like, because like I wasn't smiling back, and I was like, "Nah, for real."
I like how you used my story though. You couldn't have used yours and how you hate Chinese people. Like you hate Chinese people. I don't hate.
No, I don't hate Chinese people. I hate China.
Okay, you hate China,
I
so like
Asian,
their face
just
went
not
from like
Chinese Asian.
their face went from like, oh yeah, we're not that bad of a country, and you're like, oh okay, yeah, but we did start COVID. Oh, and then kind of back away. Like,
everything got fucked.
That's what you could have
I
used.
thought they were
but-
better because Tim laughed at that one.
That was pretty good.
I mean, that's just because you guys are.
Well, congratulations.
you guys
at least
are
you
just
got it
best friends
settled.
forever.
But
That's why-
understand, he's
that's
going
why
to
he
look at
laughed
you
at it.
weird the rest of his life.
That's why he laughed at it. You guys
I
are
think
best
he
friends.
changed up his security round to where he doesn't come in anymore. I haven't seen him since that day.
Oh, then he's
Wow.
like you in your past job.
It's going to be weird for the rest of your life.
Low blow.
Weird. At least I can run without tearing my ACL every fucking time. But next.
Sorry.
Don't yell at him. He's got a concussion.
Don't make me take this further.
All right. So speaking
go
of
ahead.
dumb shit, we know that there over the last.
I wasn't expecting that. Why does it look like a fucking old wiener? like
Yo,
you know, like when you,
That's not the real him anyway.
It looks like
That's
somebody shoving
that's
a
the
dildo
double.
in his ass
That's the
on
body
live
double.
TV.
No,
well, listen,
that's
yes,
the body
because
double.
the ears, but
Exactly.
like you remember in the YMCA, like when the old dudes would be like one leg up on like the fucking like
What
benches.
ass naked.
That's what their fucking dicks look like.
Yes,
every
right
time that's what an old man wiener looks like.
Yep.
So we know that over the last couple weeks, the Anti-Inflation Act has been put into place,
I can't
right?
do that.
Still fucked up.
It is. And it's called, well, it's actually called the, what is it? The Inflation Reduction Act, which is actually really not going to do, and you're hearing this from all sides, it's really not going to do a whole lot for inflation. Probably the one thing that's going to continue is the Affordable Care Act that was supposed to expire at the end of this year. It looks like with this anti-inflation, that'll continue up until 2024. Not sure when.
What's the is the affordable care health
Has
insurance?
to do
Or
with
is it
health,
the,
yeah, health
Health
care.
insurance. It's the
shit
health.
they were doing for like the kid, like easy
Affordable
sitters
health
or
care.
whatever. Oh, okay.
Affordable health care, keeping like insulin prices down, stuff
Yeah,
like
Borland.
that.
I just hear
But there's
that.
some things,
What that
there's some
I
things
just hear
that
that.
aren't even going to kick in until 2025. You know, and likely, as they said, isn't even going to affect the current inflation rates.
No, we're just
One of the things
Good,
talked
yeah.
about lower energy cost, right? So the one had to do with electric vehicles, which I don't know about other places. We live in an area, there's not a whole lot of electric
This shit
vehicles.
uses more than gas. Like
Yeah.
it's worse
Yeah.
for the environment than gas.
Yeah.
But okay.
and it's not affordable.
And
for
no, it's
the-
not. No,
It's
the hell
not
it's
affordable.
not.
Your
Yeah,
average
They're
American.
very
No.
expensive.
Sit at a pump for 2 minutes or less while my gas pumps, or sit at a charging station for a couple
hours.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
people.
Well, no,
Well-
the newer ones they take like minutes.
That's
but-
still too long.
But I mean,
I can't afford the minute one. I'm going to
no,
afford the.
I can't afford
I'm
any
going to
of
afford
them.
the one where the
Charge
plug
overnight.
don't work half the time. You got to go into the dollar store and buy the other plug.
I can't even afford that one. So
Sorry.
With the state, and then
Do you have an
buy out
adapter?
your retirement. You could. You get a nice
No.
money
There you
shot.
go.
Joe.
So with this, only certain models of these electric cars, only American models, are going to fall into this tax credit that you can get for having an electric car. And you have to make so much money. You have
course
to
you
make,
do.
if you're
Of course.
single, more than $150,000 a year, or if you're married, more than $300,000 a year.
Oh, so any politician,
All just to
got
get
it.
a tax credit. That's it.
right?
There's
Make
something
much
out there
richer.
about having exactly. You can get a rebate if you have rooftop solar panels installed.
Getting
yeah.
them tomorrow.
Like,
Getting them
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Um,
Remember that shit
you can
costs,
get-
like, a ridiculous amount.
Yes,
yeah, they're
it does.
expensive.
It's
Yes.
all bullshit.
Or you can also get a tax break. So get money back on your taxes if you've installed energy efficient appliances.
Probably wouldn't be a lot.
I got
That's
this light bulb that Potomac Edison gave us a couple years ago.
I
that they
remember
were
that.
energy efficient. Does that count?
Here's the issue: it doesn't really say when this is going. Like, when were they purchased? Does that matter? Because I know, like, for me as well as a lot of other people, we got those stimulus checks in 2020 and 2021. most of you know I remodeled my house, or not my house, but my kitchen. Got all new appliances and stuff. Can I get some of that tax break for all that?
Nope.
Probably not. Probably not.
There's
Yeah,
always
they're
a
energy
catch.
efficient,
There's always a catch to it.
but this was just put out. So what I did last year, does that even apply to this? Probably not.
And if it doesn't, like, all right, hey, let's use the money that we don't have now because of inflation and people being jobless. And
Damn, you should have did energy efficient.
Rich.
They don't wash the stuff the right way. Like the old school dishwashers, like they really power them dishes out. Like it takes.
Dude, this
some
one
paint
does
off
pretty
the
good.
motherfuckers.
All our appliances so far have been pretty good for the most part. I'm pretty happy with what we upgraded to.
People are just
but
dumb.
hey, you're not getting your tax break, so who the fuck cares? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I didn't get it for
Rich
that.
get richer
but I'm just
and-
saying.
Fuck us.
So I'm confused though. So we don't know for sure if yours wasn't count though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
100%
I'm
though.
curious.
Well,
No,
you should have did your homework on that one.
You may want to look further into that because honestly, if
I
it's
am
money
gonna
coming
look
in,
into it.
I say you should. I hope you do.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I do need a new
So the
phone.
other
So now you
thing,
think you're better than all of us because you have energy efficient stuff and you're gonna get a tax break. Wow. Left
yes,
us over here.
yes, I do think.
I
Oh,
do
yeah.
need a new furnace. Maybe.
So the other thing that came
Yeah,
out was the
this
recent student debt forgiveness.
I am going to.
Let me tell you right now.
I am going to fucking flip.
Taxpayers
It
taxpayers
is
taking in the rear.
Look, it's never gonna happen anyway.
Taxpayers taking.
Biden
in the rear.
is
Well, that's-
proven a liar. It's not gonna happen.
The colleges would allow it anyway. They're losing money on that, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, the colleges of old, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? They
Yeah,
know.
like so by this, the colleges would lose out on money.
Yeah,
or-
that's
But take a loss, which I mean, those universities already make too much money as it is.
Well, they're not going to want to take a loss though. Like they're not a big university. Like
No.
University of fucking Maryland isn't a big, or University of Texas, University of Clemson. Like
Alabama.
they're not big university, yeah, because they take losses. Like they don't.
I know, but
Alabama,
that's what I'm saying.
Florida,
Like
Notre
that,
Dame, they ain't trying to give up no money.
that needs to change. But this ain't the way to do it, and this ain't gonna happen anyway. Like these universities, like you pay how much for a year? Like couple, like $4,000 or $5,000. So you're telling me it cost? All right. So what's the high end? Like 8,000-9,000? You're telling me that it actually cost you, the university, $8,000 to $9,000 to teach me whatever you're going to teach me for a semester?
Like I can
What does that pay for?
In fact, I can see like your big things though, like lawyers, doctors, nurses, like stuff
It's like
that. I can see
technology
that.
stuff too. That's fine. Like,
But if
We're not
I'm
lost
going
on med
to
school.
school for business, what are you teaching me for fucking like 100,000 in 4 years? Like
right.
most of the time when you go for business, you're coming out poor anyway, and you're going to be poor unless like you get like.
And then you got to take out a
You're
loan
going
to
to be
start
poor
your business.
regardless of what major it's going to be. You're going to end up owing monies when you
So
graduate.
hold on. So is this 20,000? Like, say you owe 100,000, you would owe 80,000. Then like they're taking 20,000 off, or is it like 20,000 each year? Like, so you would get
So-
60,000 from it, or 80,000.
I would say overall, whatever you owe, you're going to get 20,000 off if you had a Pell Grant.
Well, so there you're
There's
probably
20,000
not,
off the total.
you're probably not owing that much anyway with grants.
I mean,
Exactly.
Wait,
You would
what's a Pell
think
Grant? Is that being poor?
Pell Grants kind of
yeah,
kind of. I mean, yeah, kind
not
of.
really.
So honestly,
It's like
to look at it, it really
lower
does
middle
look a little
class.
backwards. If you were on a Pell Grant, you didn't pay as much, so shouldn't the forgiveness be less than
yes.
those who
Yeah.
didn't get a Pell Grant?
You would
Yeah,
think.
but those who
you
didn't
would
get a Pell
think.
Grant, like they have, it's mommy and daddy who probably send their kid to Duke to go rape a.
True, but
girl
some
there
of
while
us,
he's on
like
the crossing,
myself,
but-
depending on my situation, had I been in that, I may not have qualified for a Pell Grant. I can tell you, I ain't rich.
I don't think anybody should.
None of
At
us
this
are.
point in time, I don't feel bad if people have college debt. You know what? You knew going into college you were going to have college debt.
Wait,
You signed up for that.
time out.
As soon as you
Time out,
looked at
time
the
out.
book, you were in the red.
This is all because, like, COVID, America doesn't
election.
have. Well, hold on. No, but what they're portraying it as, because COVID, America doesn't have money because of inflation and people not working. So, how long did they say inflation? Like, we're going to be.
But we're not in inflation though.
Oh no, we're not in a recession according to them. But what they're saying is like we're not, like, the inflation's not going to stop for a couple years, right? Like 2024, 2025, whatever. So
Well,
all right,
inflation never stops.
but it being this high, like, it's not going to come down for a little bit once all the their plan takes effect over a couple years. So look at the student loan pause extended one final time through December 31st of this year. So you're telling me you're only extending this shit for another, 4 months?
Listen,
what the fuck is that gonna do?
Stop paying their college debt. I hope you know that they hit you. Like, so you know how Columbia Gas, like they were one of the ones doing like the bill forgiveness. Like during COVID, they weren't going to shut you off. Like you didn't have to pay your bill. They didn't send you letters or nothing.
Oh, they're doing it now.
Wait till that fucking shit gets clear. Wait till January 1. Yep. You're going to get a fucking letter in the fucking mail saying, "Hey, you must pay us that year or two that you haven't been paying college debt. You now owe them by this date that college debt." So have fun with that, you motherfuckers.
Oh, you already know.
It's always read the small print. There's always some way that they're going to get you. When it sounds good. It sounds good like it is all professional. And
to dumb people.
But to dumb
motherfuckers.
But honestly,
I fell for it.
Right, listen, I felt when I was in my 20s, I was like, you're still in your 20s, so you get a pass.
I remember my first beer.
So to be fair, Columbia Gas kind of got me anyway. Like I thought that I was paying, but then they got
you.
When I realized I wasn't paying, and they were like, "Hey, now that COVID's not a thing anymore, we need to start collecting bills again. You owe us $2,700."
Oh yeah, you already know.
Pay it by this date, and I was like, "Yeah, well, fuck cold showers for me, I guess, because that's not happening."
These gas companies are about. They're about to get.
They're like any other business. All they care about is the fucking.
Well, yeah, they're about to get fucking paid because look, I guarantee you, there's so many people who have not paid those gas bills.
Paying this too, though, because this is going to come out of our taxes. This is going to come out of
taxpayers take it in the rear. That's taxpayers taking it in the rear.
It better be if you went to college.
How is this going to affect taxpayers? Is anybody who's already paid their student debts in full going to get a little something back?
They should, but they probably won't.
Is it going to increase inflation? It could, because currently there's, in the federal student debt, there is 1.6 trillion in debt amongst 45 million borrowers.
For nothing.
All right. The question is that they're still looking at, and here's where it's at. Does Biden actually have the authority to even do this?
I don't think he does.
Some are saying yes, due to the Higher Education Act of 1964. That was this whole Elizabeth Warren. You've been seeing her everywhere. That grants the president the power to cancel an unlimited amount of student loans for an unlimited amount of borrowers.
Anything that
others, others, including Biden, have questioned his legal authority. Because Congress didn't explicitly put it in text of what the president's authority is in these matters.
Anything that happened in 1964 should have no effect on what is
I don't see how that should have any play.
Inflation,
that makes no sense.
Inflation then is like, oh, my milk was $0.25, now it's 50 cents. The fuck? Like, that shit doesn't, no.
Yeah, I think one of the big problems with this whole thing is forgiving student debt. I mean, I'm all willing to help out anybody who needs help.
Legitimately.
Yeah, we already have a problem in this country with students just dropping out before graduating. Oh. I dropped out. Now, granted, I paid for everything, so nobody did it for me. But then going into a field that doesn't require that degree or any degree, for that matter.
Or what about those people who graduated?
A decent job. I mean, it's some college experience.
What about those people who graduated and are jobless? They don't have a job.
Exactly.
So what is this?
So is this teaching any type of accountability for kids? We already talked about how entitled kids are nowadays. So here, you don't have to pay your debt.
I think it's one of those situations. I think the kids really don't care. It's just as long as it's saving them money. And if you can make an argument that the kids they're not going to care because it's money going back in their pocket. They could get two shots.
That's the
situation.
They don't care.
That's the problem. Which that's pathetic. That's the way.
Too many of the new generation.
Yeah.
Go to fucking get a job at McDonald's. You can't find a job. McDonald's is hiring. You got to pay your fucking student loan. You got to pay your student loan back somehow. But no, they're above. Yeah. They're above working at McDonald's.
They think they're above and beyond. They figure they should go right to a corporate office from the get-go. I'm like, no, you got to earn your money. You're afraid they don't want to. Nobody wants to bust their ass. They don't want to earn that
shit. Fucking our local fucking convenience stores are hiring at a higher fucking price or dollar per hour than your fucking doctor's offices.
I see everybody.
Like nurse, medical assistants or whatever.
I see
They're
everybody
making less than Sheetz employees.
I see everybody hiring up at my place where I'm working. I mean, shoot, there was a restaurant up at my place yesterday that was closed because they didn't have enough. They don't have enough help. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, come on, kids, bust your ass a little bit. You'll like it. It'll get you a little bit.
There you go. Like everything's been handed to us.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with busting your ass to get what you want. Not a damn thing wrong with that.
And if we pass this bill, then the people who never went to college, I should get $10,000 just because I didn't go to college. I can pay off my debt with that then. Fucking bastards. I'm not paying for no fucking little bitch ass kid that went to college and didn't use his fucking time wisely and fucking now owes money because he went to go get a fucking business degree. Now he just works at fucking Sheetz anyway. Like, fuck him. I'm not paying for that shit. I'm not paying for a guy who decided I'm gonna go be a doctor. No, fuck, you can pay that shit yourself, you fucking pussy. You don't fucking do shit anyway. I'm not paying for a fucking guy who went to go get a fucking weather degree and he doesn't even tell me the right fucking weather anymore. You know, it's like, yeah, hey, I just spent $115,000 at college for a couple years to be a meteorologist. I love how he's looking up to the heavens for that. I'm gonna say that it's probably gonna 75% chance of rain. Sir, it's the middle of December and it's 18 degrees. Wouldn't that be snow? No, it's gonna rain. 75% chance of rain. 25% chance of snow.
Sorry,
partly cloudy. Like, what the fuck? No.
Bring it back.
We're not
Bring
gonna.
it back.
Tim, we're not gonna just sit there and act like I didn't see that.
Bring it back.
What did Tim do? Did he do this?
No.
No. He just showed on our fucking
He got my attention real quick.
recording.
I'm sorry, Dermot.
We're not gonna pretend like we didn't just see that.
I didn't mean to hit the button.
Yes, you did.
That was anatomy of, I think, a male.
What?
And that wasn't a male.
That looked like the anatomy of something.
No, it was.
It's what you would see in a fucking biology book.
I think it was might have been a
high school biology book.
Yes, you did.
I didn't mean to click. I didn't mean to click the button. I really didn't. But
McDermott, I'm sorry.
You guys are right though. Paying nobody wants to pay for these, but we do have kind of one last thing to go over before we. I kind of even ruined the fucking transition because I was going to make it sound serious. We have one more serious topic to get into.
I can edit.
Boobies.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, you guys have me. But I had the draft pulled up, so once it starts, I'm kind of over there. So
yeah,
you're good. This is just kind of the last thing. So,
I'll say,
we do have one more.
Yeah, please make this quick because they're really ready to rock here.
We have one more serious conversation to cover. You know, we've talked about police brutality. We've talked about pro athletes and their shitty behaviors, and then we've talked about our wonderful POTUS and all the wonderful decisions he's making. So it's good that we get into one more topic, and that is, are you a boob man or are you a butt man?
Both. I can't pick one.
Both.
Yeah, it just depends on. It could be one or the other.
Is it because of the pictures or
no? Just in general. Just in general.
Neither one of those are what. I mean, one's too big and one's too fake. So actually, they're both fake.
I like them both. I
have nothing against fake. Honestly, if it makes it look better, then all more power to you.
I like all natural titties.
I fucked a girl with a big ass and middle school tits. It's not fun. It looks like she has mosquito bites, and it was weird, And then I fucked the girl with big titties and just no butt. It's like, what do you grab onto? The tailbone? It's odd. Nobody likes that. I like a mix, I like to have a little butt and a little titty. You don't got to have it extremely big, but give me something, I just don't want to watch,
That's
chest bounce, or I don't want to watch, the spine realign while I'm in it.
The Kim picture, that's too big.
Well, we all know that's fake. We all know that's fake.
It's fake, but it's a little on the big side. And she's got the boobies, the titties, they're a nice size.
You just growled him.
They're a nice size, but they look too fake. They don't look natural enough.
Me
I just pulled this
personally,
up. I was just trying to find popular pictures. That's why I pulled them up.
me
But I'm
personally,
not attracted to Kim K though, so it's not.
Yeah, I'm
this
not
doesn't
either.
help me.
You
I
could've-
think she's ugly.
I don't. No,
She's
I'm
the
not,
ugliest out of them.
No,
You
the
could've pulled up-
whole family's attention horse.
Nah, fuck that. You could have pulled up.
True.
Courtney.
No, I'm pretty
Courtney's
sure. No,
fucking
the
hot
girl,
as shit.
she got Kardashian. She got famous for one sex tape, and now she's a billionaire selling fragrances to tweens.
I mean, to be
and
fair,
I'm pretty sure she's legally retarded.
To
I'm
be
just saying.
fair, she. I mean, all right. To be fair, she was famous before that, but I mean that put her higher. But legally,
So,
if I had to pick one, more
if
personally,
any of them's legally retarded, it's the fucking whatever the fuck the.
I think we can say legally
Stepdad.
retarded. That doesn't make it nicer.
No, it doesn't. But like maybe the dad, like what the fuck is his name now? Like
Caitlyn.
Bruce, Caitlyn, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
is. She.
Yeah, she John. That's all it is.
so the reason I wanted to bring this in here is because, like you guys said, what makes a guy a butt man versus what makes him a boob man? Why do we find those two parts of the body attractive? Not that we don't find most parts of a woman attractive, but what about those parts makes them specifically attractive? That we go straight there. So let's start with the breast. What do you guys think? What are some reasons that breasts are attractive to men?
They feel cool to play with, and you can suck on them.
Okay, they feel cool to play with, and you can suck on them.
Oh, sucking on them has like a kink, like a mother issue, but
No,
I'll leave
see,
that
all right,
to you.
no,
Not with
see,
me.
I was I thought Tim was gonna take
At
it
a-
there,
at a
but you
Freudian
had
level,
to.
He's not wrong.
Time
At a Freudian
out.
level,
Stop.
he's
Stop.
not
You're
wrong.
making.
Thank you.
All right, now I don't like boobs.
I've never thought about
You guys
that.
took
with
it
the,
fucking weird. And I want nothing to do with this.
I don't suck on titties. I
If
put my
all-
dick
I
in
do.
it.
I
Or
love. No,
come
you
on.
have to. Me. I'm kind of like I'm more with the foreplay kind of thing because honestly, with it was just more just yeah. But that's just me. I mean,
On
I
a
love.
biological
Are they
level,
cows, Craig? Like you're like.
Hey,
on
hey,
a biological level,
hey. That's what
a
she liked.
full breast indicate to us subconsciously that
No,
a
don't
woman
say
is
this,
in
though.
good health. No, I'm not getting into
Okay.
what you were talking about.
Okay.
In good health and a good choice to bear and raise children. Right? So on a biological level, we see that and we just know, yes, I like what I see. Dopamine response, blood flow to the penis. Right? That's what we know.
I'm not
I
thinking about
think-
a childbearing when I'm sucking on a nipple.
If I think
That's-
childbearing,
I-
it's more hips.
Subconsciously.
I can't.
Yes.
Hips.
So let me get into that one because hold on real quick with the breast because even a woman's breasts actually enlarge when they become sexually aroused. They actually grow about 25%.
I know.
So
You knew it.
the next time, this is for all the guys out there. The next time, not just when you're doing it because she may not be feeling it, but the
getting
next time
sex tips
she's
from
really
Tim.
into it, check. You'll notice there's more of a roundness and a firmness. 25% larger, and their nipples and areola become more sensitive when they become sexually aroused.
I have a better
Some
percentage.
for some women it's a little painful. That's why not all women like it,
He's
but
too
most
excited
do.
about this. I have a better
No, I
percentage
like to
for you.
research it.
I like.
Your mental health is better throughout the day if you hold a woman's breast for, I think it's 5 seconds.
I believe that.
5 seconds. 70% in a better state of mind, better mood. You hold it for 5.
I'm not thinking the
Ask my
scientific. I
wife.
just like
Ask
to.
my wife.
I'm
Ask
not
my
thinking.
wife. She knows.
Tim, I understand where you're coming at, but
You're
I'm
not
not much.
going to.
I'm not. I just like the motorboat. That's all I like.
So to what Danny was talking about the
Seven?
hips. So why do we find the butt attractive? That's not even where we stick it.
it's more.
Wait, whoa, hey.
Oh, I
On
don't.
a normal
I don't.
basis.
I won't. I'll
on
never.
a regular basis.
I will never do.
I
I'll never
disagree.
do anal ever. I'll never do it.
I agree with that, but
I'll
I
never do it.
disagree with what you're saying. That's why do we find it attractive?
didn't
Because that's
say
not
anything
where.
yet.
No,
I
you
didn't say
said
anything
why
yet.
do we find it attractive when that's not where we stick it? I
It was
disagree.
a joke. I was going into the next, but go ahead.
I'm saying because bend the girl over, that's what you see. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay, but that's not what I was saying. I was saying why
You gotta
why
know
did
the
we
mood,
find
bro.
it? I was asking a question.
Because if the girl doesn't have a tight pink asshole, I don't want that shit.
I mean, it's not more about the asshole to me. It's more about the shape.
No, I mean, I was.
with me, it's the
those
shape.
two.
I
Yeah.
can't. No, with me,
if
it's the
not
shape.
Pink, if it's not pink and it's a little brown, she dirty. I don't
No,
want
I'm
that.
not gonna lie to you. I'm not staring at the
I'm not
the
either. It
asshole.
was
No.
just a joke again. God damn.
No, I'm pretty
He
sure
takes
you're.
it so literal.
No,
Y'all
I'm pretty
yell at me
sure
for
you're
taking
fucking
shit
serious.
literal.
I've never yelled at you
Bro.
for the most part, so
She ain't the butt stuff, bro. Trust me.
no.
No,
Me,
no.
I think it's
I
more.
can't even get a finger in there.
I think it's more fun to play with than boobies, personally. Me personally, I think it's a little bit more
but
fun,
it really-
especially like that. I mean,
It does come back to the whole idea of the wider hips. Once again, coming back to childbearing. And it's soft to the touch and, as you guys said, fun to play with. Also, thinking of this on a biological level, we are one of few mammals that not only do we walk on two legs, but it's also become common that the normal natural style for us now is the missionary position. In nature, they don't use the missionary position.
doggy.
Most mammals walk on all fours, right? And so that's how they also have sex. So when a woman biologically is bent over and on all fours,
Doggy.
that's representing the position, sure, doggy style.
Doggy.
Representing the position that naturally we're like, ooh, she's in position, and it makes the butt appear larger
you
and
got
rounder.
a freak. You know you got a freak when you turn her over to the dude doggy and she goes, "Oh yeah."
Right,
You know, like
if-
we like
We ready? We ready?
It's like an elephant fucking a field mouse over here, but we with it, you know.
Holy shit!
Bro, if you're only doing missionary, you're boring as fuck. Like,
No,
get over
I'm,
that.
No,
positions. I'm open to anything. I think I've tried every position at least once. So
the right missionary is good though. Like if you got the legs up, the knees folded, it's like
yeah.
you're having her like a pretzel. And
Get your legs up in your hand.
No, yeah, but that's not regular missionary. I'm thinking
normal
regular missionary.
yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, if you're doing normal missionary, you should just fuck a girl and fuck a guy. Like, if I'm over here just doing normal missionary, like, you're just, like, laying down together and you're just like, oh, yeah. Like, you
She's
might
over
be
like,
gay.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
That's
Everybody-
funny.
look,
Making fun of
that's
this
how I
because
like it.
I
Tim's
started.
doing mission. He's
That's
starfishing.
so like, well, that's how you can start it off at first with the missionary, because that she's into it, you're into it, and
No.
it kind of leads to
Ain't nobody
and it leads
making
to other
love
things
no
getting
more,
done. That's
motherfucker.
I started with missionary at first. She's on top, I'm on top, and then it leads to other stuff.
No, motherfucker. You start out with the good shit and you end
No,
with
no,
the
no.
good shit.
I take
Ain't nobody making love
I don't
no more,
run- no,
motherfucker.
I take my time when I make love to my woman.
You see these
I
two
take
fingers
my
right
time.
here?
I
You
take
see
my
these
fucking
two
time.
here? These two started, because once they hit that clit and it starts going, she knows why I'm a good gamer now, because
That's
I
crazy.
understand
Hold,
this,
hold.
but like I
That's
said,
crazy. I thought you started by letting the girl eat your butt.
well, that was the one time, and that wasn't,
How's he going?
No,
like, that was,
I'm trying to do like a drop the mic. Type.
I
that
take
was more like
Ow.
her dad. That was more. She
I take-
never ate my ass
No.
after a 16-hour shift
Never.
and a nasty shit.
Never.
That was on her.
Never.
And I also regret that I
Never.
I also regret to the fact that I thought you had to get your ass ate while you were in doggy style. So I was like hands and knees, all fours, face down in the pillow. But I'm kind of glad I was in the pillow because let me tell you something.
Wait a minute,
Let
what
me
the
tell
fuck
you
are we
something. Let
talking
me tell you-
about?
We can
What
tell the
the-
whole story next week. Like this could be like a story. With
I
me
don't
next
want to
week.
hear this
No.
story. What I don't know. I'm
Hey.
all for people who are into
Hey.
their own kind of shit, but Jesus fucking
Let's save it.
Christ!
Let's save it for the TikTok. We need a tutorial.
Okay.
Like you're gonna Samoan spike the girl's butthole. I'm like, God damn.
I don't know. I'm
you
intrigued
guys,
now.
I'm not.
no, you guys will both be there for the TikTok video.
I
McDermott,
take my time.
I've already seen the tutorial. I have had it saved.
It was his screensaver for a while.
It was.
And
What, you
Fountain.
getting your ass ate?
I showed the kids how I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Come
this
on.
story.
Yes.
Never mind. Okay,
Yeah.
I got
So
you.
we're hey.
All right.
Make sure you check out the TikTok, ladies and gentlemen, because that tutorial's coming.
Absolutely.
That tutorial's coming.
Should I be naked for it?
No,
No,
Maybe.
I
please,
can't I can't put it on.
no,
TikTok
please
then.
don't. You'll blind us.
Well, you might like it.
All right.
I mean, this little bit of white chocolate mixed with that dark chocolate, we can make a whole new
Shit.
chocolate, Craig. You
Shit.
might go with it.
No.
It's gonna be a hazelnut.
Please. You can't handle one. You can't handle my emperor.
Oh, I would fucking choke down your black dick. Keep playing with me over there.
You couldn't handle my emperor. You couldn't handle it.
Okay.
With,
my
with that
God.
being said, I
He
think
likes
we're done,
black
ladies
men.
and
He's like,
gentlemen.
no, he likes black men.
No, yeah. Somebody's a freak.
You can be my Kuta Kente.
Wow.
Damn. All right. Well,
I got nothing.
You know he's been wanting to say
I'm
that
outta
for
here.
some time.
He has.
With that being said, thank
After
you,
that
ladies and gentlemen,
comment,
for being here.
Jesus.
Go ahead and
Go ahead, Marie.
yeah, we love you guys. Go ahead and take
Hey.
us out.
hey, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, especially that, subscribe button, because we're a little...
Look, he's trying to set the mood already.
We're still a little low, so juice that fucking YouTube, juice that fucking...
Get us into.
Juice that fucking TikTok, and we'll be back next week.
Apologize.
So, love you guys.
All right, catch
See
you.
ya!